Welcome to Permacal Memories podcast. I am Lance, or Jelly, or Prince, as most Permacal people know me. And my co-host is Philip, or Any, or NFL, as most Permacal people know him. And both of us are from Calbeck Avenue. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore how Permacal, a small community in the Kingston 20 area, surrounded by Joesland, just across Washington Boulevard, Marvalley, Trucks Garden, or Francis Land as I know it, Arlene Garden, Patrick City, just across the Sandy Gully, became the epicenter of football or soccer for some people in Jamaica in the early 1970s. Permacal was also home of some of the most legendary musicians and entertainers of that era. I was still going to Permacal Primary when every single Sunday a triple header was played at the original ball ground at the intersection of Calbeck Avenue, Permacal Drive, now Kennel Drive. One morning match and two evening match was played to a capacity crowd. These teams, Patosi Rovers, Carawina, Asphalt, Covey, El Furto, and Dreads, was joined by Marvalley Uenden to play in the Permacal Corner League football tournament. And every baller in Jamaica at the time wanted to play in a Permacal Corner League to showcase them skills as the first officially organized Corner League football tournament in Jamaica. In this conversation, we hope to capture the memories of players, supporters, and any members of the Permacal community, male or female, who want to come and share their stories. Your feedback and support will be greatly appreciated on whatever social media platform you might be listening, and thanks in advance. So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Permacal Members podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another memorable conversation. Thank you. Go. Today is Sunday, September 10, 2023. And welcome back to another conversation about Permacal Memories. Me as usual, Lance, our Jelly, our Prince. And join me today for this very special conversation is my original co-host, Philip, our NFL. Also joining us to co-host this conversation is Rudolph, Tumpa, Tony Kamika, who was on episode number 15, and you should go back and listen to Tony Permacal Memories and make sure you like, share, and subscribe while listening. Our next co-host was a mentor to a friend we are going to talk about today, and you must go back and listen to episode number 5 to listen to Chris Baptiste Permacal Memories and make sure you like, share, and subscribe while listening. And the link for both of those podcasts will be in the show notes. We have some well-known Permacal stalwarts here today joining us as guests because we are here to properly honor and pay tribute to our own and the original Messi, our Deon Garfield Wilmot, as it says on his birth certificate. Messi, who unfortunately transitioned since our last recording, was the most capped Jamaican footballer, was a Permacal man through and through, more than 75 times. In my opinion, only Dougie Bell from that famous North Street school could challenge Messi as the best defender me ever see play for Jamaica. In my own eyes. Me talk about my own eyes. Me not talk about who me not say. Anyway, we have some high-powered guests who are here today to talk about our own Messi. Firstly, we have his brother Ray, who has been on these conversations. You must go back to episode number 14 and listen to Ray Permacal Memories. In his own words, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe, of course. And Ray will have to explain if his parents have ambitions of Messi being a cricketer with a middle name being Garfield. Because the most famous cricketer when Messi was born in 1961 was Garfield so bad. But Ray will have to explain that when we start. Also, during the conversation today is another good and almost like another big brother to Messi, Michael Garden. And we know him better as Muller. Because when I see him name Michael Garden, I have to ask who that. But I'm Muller, all I know him as. And Permacal really don't need introduction to the Permacal community. Muller, however, Muller is the original Manchester City fan, unlike some of the wagonists them after today who support Manchester City. Muller support Man City from them home ground was known as Main Road, with players like Francis Lee, and Manchester City was in the second division. Anyway, Muller is one of the most talented footballers of a generation who never played Manning Cup for his alma mater, Calabar. But that conversation is for another time because today he joined us to talk about Messi. Our next guest here today to talk about our friend and really don't need an introduction because in my mind, he's the man most responsible for the second generation of all great Premier League footballers in the late 70s and 1980s, including Messi. He is one of the main men who organized the first junior corner league in a Premier League while he was still going to Calabar. And this was no mean feat because this man's organization and coaching skill for spotting talent from such a young age defied the law of gravity. And only him can tell me, with such great administrative and coaching skill, why him don't have a top job at FIFA today. That conversation is for another time, so Premier League members welcome the one and only Keith Reid for the birth certificate, but everybody at Premier League know him as Sally Miller. But gentlemen, introducing yourself. Ray, you go first.
Yeah, man. Ray Wilmot from 17 Patosi. Yeah, Premier League in 61. And actually, Messi was born up when we were in Premier League. And everything else, everybody know, my playing career, Patosi, Premier League, and then migrate to the US, played at New York Tech. And it's as you mentioned, Lance is a grieving moment, a moment that but we still have to end. We still have to memorialize, as you say, one of Jamaica's best football players.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Without a doubt. Thank you, Ray. And Mullah, introduce yourself, my brother. First time on the podcast. Sorry for the sad moment we take, but you will come again after this. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, listeners. I am Michael Gordon, otherwise known as Mullah. I grew up on Patos, with my life, Bob, Looney Dragon, Ray, Messi, Rhodes, Michael Beck. Of the road, you have Peter Nicholson, the Walters family, and some other man. Tony guard down the road and things, So, yeah, it's sad to say, my first time here is talking about a legend where young sister, you have the potential, So, I'll go in a little more, but I know because of sadness, a celebration of life, so everybody can know the impact where Deon Garfield Wilmot did not only to Patos, not only to Premier League in Jamaica. So I could go around it and we go and fill in the blank and make everybody and get to see the beauty.
Yeah, Mullah, thank you for that. It's a celebration of life we're talking about today. You're right. Thank you for reminding me about that. But yeah. Sally, go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother. Thank you for coming in and joining me today.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's 3 minutes past 5 in England now, so I presume it's a different, probably 12 minutes after 12 in America. Yeah, as Mullah said, it's a celebration of life, yeah, and basically it's under sad circumstances where we're here today, but we have to kind of like understand that, certain times we have to deal with certain things. And when I just got the news, yeah, it come like me lose one of my son them, yeah? That's how I feel, yeah? So anyway, Keith Reid, otherwise known as Sally Miller, and Premier League and people all over know me. In England, you won't tell anybody. If you tell anybody, call the name Sally Miller, nobody don't know who name so. But that's how it go, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I said the nickname was Sally. Yeah. And Phil, reintroduce back yourself, my brother.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank the newcomer them, or the special guest them, I should say. They are my people when I look up to. As a youth, I grew up in a Premier League and watch football. Anyway, as Jelly said, I'm Philip Any, a.k.a. Any Foul, or Philip. Originally from Calbeck Avenue in a Premier League. And grew up in a Premier League. And may I tell you, as I said, the football, it was a captivating thing. It's something where just polarize the community. And something where you got all Premier League, man, I got always remember, and it got always sticking in their mind. Man from them era, me I talk about. So more welcome each and everyone to the talk and looking forward to it because we're on a man where, yeah, he's a great man, but may I tell you, the circumstances, it's hard to understand and deal with. But as Mullah said, rightfully said, a celebration of life and it's life. If you're born, you have to go. So we could get the program going.
Yeah, man. And Tompa, introduce back yourself, brother.
Well, Tompa Kamika. Some people know me as Rudy, some as Tony, but the Pembrokalites, them know me as Tompa. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to the guests, our guests. Very important guests. I'm happy to be part of this in this sad moment, but we're going to celebrate Messi, a man who I played with, played against, so let's get rolling.
Yeah, and Chris, last but by certainly no means least, reintroduce back yourself to the community. I've been on this conversation and we talk every Sunday, so it come like you just join a Sunday conversation. Go ahead, Chris.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris Baptiste. I'm from Permacal. I grew up in Permacal. I spent most of my formative years on Chico Close, and my hang.
Repeat that, Chris. Like him drop, how him there? Something wrong with him. I don't know where him gone. I'll bring him back on the stage. This is a technical issue up sometimes, so can't do this. Chris, come back on stage because for some reason you call. I never hear you at all. Come back on stage, Chris. Anyway, when him come on back, I don't know what him thing. Anyway, before we start, when him come on back, before we go start the conversation officially today, I would be remiss if I don't mention certain things in the beginning of the conversation. You now hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because since we do the last conversation, Permacal, some well-known Permacal original have lost their loved ones over the past couple of weeks. I'm not to mention them. First, our own because Jackie Watkins Johnson is a member of the Inner Circle meet on a Sunday. Lost her mother. May I come back to you, Chris, as you say the drop off. Lost her mother over the last couple of weeks. Irma Watkins was 94. Our prayers go to Jackie and her sisters, Maxine and Winsome and her brother Kilo. And everybody know Kilo upon the conversation. Secondly, Richard Roots Nathan also lost his mother recently. And our prayers are with the Nathan family in the time of grieving. And finally, we also have to send prayers to another well-known Permacal family, Alonewood, who lost her son, Dominic, over the weekend. And our prayers and condolences to Alone and her family. So, Chris, you the kind of drop off. Let me see if I hear you. I still not hear you talk. I didn't say something wrong with your connection, Chris. You probably have to turn off and come in back. For some reason.
Jenna, let him exit the talk completely.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Yeah. That I'm going to tell him. I'm supposed to hear it.
Yeah, hopefully he might hear that.
Yeah, Chris. Turn off the phone and turn it on back and come back in, Chris. Because for some reason you come back in. Anyway, for them look a light introduction there, a segue. We just give condolences to them well-known Permacal family. We can start. So, we're there today for Anna Messi, as we say, our own. The original Messi, as we call him. Because when me wrote Messi from Argentina, I say, we have the original Messi. So, I'm going to start with you first, Ray. You said Messi the born in a Permacal when the move come there.
Yeah, we moved to Permacal in 61 and Messi born January 62.
Okay, so it's the original Permacal man. We don't have to check him birth certificate.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, man, yeah. So, your parents did have visions of him being a cricketer while his middle name Garfield. Because I talked to his sister in the week. Karen, she had told me say Garfield was. I said, yeah? How did it go?
Well, you see, my father was a cricketer.
Okay.
I mean, he loved the ball, but he was a cricketer.
Mm-hmm.
And being a cricketer, he was when we was youth, we used to go, go Sabina Park, go watch, West Indies all the time. And him talk a lot. So he decided that one of his sons going to name after Garfield Sobers.
That's what I thought. That's what I
So
thought.
that's what the Garfield come in. But, I mean, it's Garfield is a middle name. It's a Deon Garfield Wilmot.
Yeah, man. That's it. That's yeah. What current woman? Yeah, go ahead, Ray. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was named after Garfield Sobers.
Yeah. And Messi was the youngest boy or the youngest child?
No. Karen is the youngest.
How much honor in total? How much honor in total?
Well, it's five of us.
Yeah.
I have two older sisters, Paulette and Marcia, and then I'm the middle one. Then you have Messi after me, Garfield after me, and then Karen.
Okay. So, let me stick with you a little bit here. What was Messi like as a youngster come up? Because we wouldn't know him as a younger brother like you know him as a young. What was he like?
Well, I mean, one thing about him in whole life, he was a very, quiet person. Outside of football, he was. You never hear him voice. You can be in a group of people and everybody talk and you don't hear him at all. But the thing, when he got into playing football, he was more of a. He was a prankster.
Yeah.
And he was make because I tell you, I had a conversation with Donovan Dixon the other day, who grew around, who was one of Messi's good friends as a kid, and he reminded me that when Messi first started playing ball, he was a goalie. And the only reason he played goal is because he never take the game serious, and the man them just decide to put him in a goal. Right? Because him never too serious about the game, so them just stick a man in the goal and it was him. And it's not till him went to Pembroke Secondary that him started playing out.
And started the ball more seriously. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I mean, him right the minute him went up, started playing out, him took it. It was his passion. Because I don't know if you all know, but I mean, between him and Johnny Shelley, they took Pembroke Secondary to the secondary school finals and won. I think that was in 75 or 76, somewhere around there, 74, 75. He took secondary to the All-Like and secondary school football championship, and they won. And as I said, that's where football became his life. It literally became his life because a lot of us didn't realize. I mean, school was more like was like a stepping stone for him, just to play football.
Yeah.
Academics wasn't that thing that he was really serious about.
He was just passionate more about the football, yeah. We'll get it.
More about football than anything else.
Yeah, man, we'll get more into that though. Before I bring in more, I'm gonna ask, make sure Chris is here. Chris, take your mic off and mute and make me hear you today.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we can't hear you now. But finish up introduction, Chris, and then we go to Muller. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I was just saying, guys, that this conversation is tough for me because Garfield was very special to me. Guys on the call are my brothers also, but this one is different, right? It's the first one of us, really, and I can say that has transitioned, right? But this person is very, very close to me, very, very special to me, and someone I'll always have a place in my heart for, right? That will never fade. And I agree that it's a discussion of looking at one celebration of life. But it's also a therapy for me to appear on this program right now, right? All right, so I thank you, Lance, for putting this on.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Chris. The pleasure is mine. Trust me, the pleasure is mine. And Mullah, you grew up near to Messi. You don't know him as Messi or Garfield.
Well, I want to expound a bit on the cricket part. Messi had a godfather, I don't remember his name. He bought Messi and Lance, you will know more about it. A scoop, a bat called a scoop.
Yeah, man. Greenwich Scoop, Mullah, yes. In my field, lad, yeah.
Never was playing the cricket as much. We ended up playing catch a shubby with that bat on the street. So we didn't know the value of the bat until the godfather came on the assault. And he was a little bit appalled that he like, wow, it's like having a $3,000 cleat and you play scrimmage on the asphalt, you know? But, as well, yeah, Messi was quiet, but he was also a little mischievous. Because since he was a few years younger than 4 of us on Patosi, he didn't join in the scrimmage game. We didn't give him any game. But, you know, he used 2 rocks, 2 stones, as they call it, as the goal. And sometimes a man gets to score and there was no stone. Messi took them away and you could see him laughing behind the collar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, at the time, you know, there's a gentleman that used to say, stop messing around too much, you know? And that didn't stop with him. And he developed, I'm saying, I know that I get intrigued, but let me tell you how important I think of Messi. Messi was the captain of Patosi at one time. We're going to play. I think it was that time it was Red Spot or whatever. And they said, you know what? I think it was Roos came up with a strategy. They said, let Messi lead out the field with the ball in his hand. And we ran all the way from Patosi to the field. And you could see in the eyes of the opponent, the fear when they saw, as we maybe call him, the general, run onto the field in front of us, man. Sweating, blowing like how Pregs used to blow when Pregs come in. Messi used to have a blow like that. Where I was quiet, man. Quiet. But yeah, he was a very quiet kid. But when he started developing into the ball game, you could see that the talent was there. And yeah, I will give thanks to a man like Sally Miller, who started with Green Sparks. But Sally can't go into that. So let me push it on to somebody else.
Yeah, man, yeah. A good transition. Thank you for that transition, Mullah. Thank you. Because I'm going to go straight to Sally, I know, because I don't want to know, Sally, you, as I say, your administrative skill defy your age, because as such, you're not much older than me, and you organize corner league and junior corner league football when you go to school. So talk about the first time you buck up on Messi and where you get that administrative skill from something early where you take on them big time, big man thing there. Go ahead, Sally.
You know, basically, just something, I mean, I'm going to Calabar, because basically, there's times I used to walk home with Mullah and Floon and everybody, because Patosi, basically, there was a lot of Calabar people that attended Calabar that, you know, lived on Patosi. So I spent some time in Patosi, but originally I lived at Carwin, at 22 Carwin Avenue. And the first Money Cup match I went to, I never too really understand the game fully them time. So I just start take it serious, and after a while, it just come natural for me to say, right, you want now? Football I have to develop from the youth them. And if we develop youth football, we always have a senior team and so forth. So I always have this thing that you have to deal with the youth them, and you have to develop the youth them, and it just become, after a while, it just came natural that I just focus on youth, and I never get no problems with none of them, no matter the fact that I might be a year older or 2 years older than a lot of the players. never a problem. I'm always I look for for talent. I'm always I look for try say how I can harness a talent, how I can develop it, how I can move it on. So uh, to be honest, coming across Messi probably he was probably about 11, 12 around that time. Yeah, and I think he played Pepsi for me. I entered Permacal junior secondary in the Pepsi competition, but I'm still have now. And the first year Messi was the captain. We got to the final, then played at Calabar. We got to the final the first year, and after the other day Messi said to me, say, blame me for losing the final because I took out the original keeper that kept most of the games and put in someone from Washington Guards named Shaggy. So Messi blame me for losing the game 1-0 because Shaggy should have stopped that goal. The second year, we won Pepsi, you know, and people don't seem to even give the credit to the people who win it. Because for junior secondary school, for really win Pepsi and beat a high school in a final, yeah, and they gave us a crate of Pepsi. We walked down from Calabar with a crate of Pepsi. But going back to Messi, that was about the first time, about 11, 12, I noticed, you know, him playing football and so forth, and it just developed from there. But we can go further in, but...
Yeah, but may I ask you something, Sally? Because we have mentioned something and I can't make it just slip by. I never know, say, junior secondary school, you play Pepsi. That was...
Really, your job.
Yeah,
Then I said thing, we never interject and say, for me never ever say I say.
how much just go win and all with the Sally Miller? How you pull off that?
We win, man. Yeah, we win. 2 years, we got final, you know, the first year with Messi as captain. Second year, Harper played the second year.
Yeah.
Johnny Shelley supposed to play the first year. And Lee Cummings, Calabar, and tell the Calabar people, are the organizers, that Johnny Shelley was overage. So Johnny Shelley could not play the first year. Ronnie Buck played the second year with Harper and will win Pepsi as a junior secondary school.
So, but...
And they gave us a case of Pepsi. I came down with a crate. Them time, you remember Buckland thing?
Yeah, man, yeah.
We don't get the credit. Yeah. We don't get the credit for all them things then.
No, Sally, this is some issue I never know about at all. So, how you pull off that? How you get them, how you pull off that feat the way you could have enter a secondary school, junior secondary at the time, I enter high school competition?
We probably close the loophole now, but somewhere along the line I found a way of getting in. And we play the 2 years, yeah? We play the 2 years and 2 final reach. Yeah?
No,
we beat Calabar. We beat Calabar 1 year with the Cummings.
Yeah? Sally, we know you're brilliant at that. Finding the loopholes.
Yeah. Well,
no, but that's a Sally, your skill. Or you not a member of FIFA with them skill. Yeah, that more I know. You may ask you up front, you know, because your administrative skill for pull off them thing there, may I say. But anyway, that's another podcast. You don't have to answer that. That's behind the paid wall. If you don't want to. But...
All right, yeah. I can give you some more history about Messi, but I want to make other people talk before I say anything.
Yeah, man, yeah. And Chris, how are you come in and talk about the first time you meet Messi and see Messi talent?
All right, so you know, I appreciate Sally bringing that forward about Pepsi, because a lot of people don't remember about the Pepsi Cup, right? But I was attending permaculture school at the time, right? And even though Sally mentioned a few more, you have people like Forbes and them man was also on Pepsi Cup too, right? And some other people. But more importantly, as we're talking about Messi now, so we had a PE coach at permaculture school named Mr. Young. And Mr. Young introduced us at a very, like say, when you had PE as a session, the girls them go and play netball, and the guys them go and play football. So Mr. Young now would have several classes, because Messi was like, I believe, 2 classes behind, 2 grades behind me, but he used to just form a big circle and make it pass the ball around. But Messi was always, to me, a good footballer, fundamentally safe, fundamentally sound. All right. So my first encounter with seeing Messi playing was really at Pembroke School, and probably was in 11th grade, something like that. The first year, and it was playing house competition, right? All right. So each house with a man them familiar with houses.
Yeah, man.
Um, each house have a football team and a track team, right? And don't forget, Messi run a 400, I don't think he was an excellent star in 400, but him run a 400 too. At house competition, right? Over the years, when him start to develop, right? Me and him had big conversations. Remember, him come check me on my ranch. At the time I was living at Potosi. We sit down for about 3 hours. I talk about if him should go to Howard or not go to Howard. And one of the things him said to me, him said, Papa, he's not a academic man. He said, he's a football player. That me love. And him say it with a passion that him never waver. To the last, Messi was a lover of the game, right? Fundamentally sound. I mean, if you guys go back and think about how he played the game, and as we progress in this conversation, right? I'm share with you some moments that we had that brought joy, right? I remember first year when Messi went to Dental, right? Yep. Finals with Clarinet College. All of us, I mean, collectively, the guys on the call, collectively, we have seen every schoolboy game Messi ever played. All right? Our posse, our little group, it doesn't matter where the game was. We made sure we were there to support our general. And I remember a group of us, Mula can chime in on this, but some Mula had a Volkswagen, and we get up in a Volkswagen, man, and we entered Jarrett Park. So from Pembroke to Jarrett Park to watch two Pembroke icons meeting. Carlton Briscoe playing for Clarinet, and Deon Wilmot playing for Denton. I mean, Denton wasn't successful, but we had fun. We had fun going, we had fun at the game, and we had fun coming back. Now, so Garfield was a man of Garfield as a man was a man of few words. Like, we never hear the man that curse yet. I don't say him don't curse, but I never hear it. I never see Garfield being angry. He always have that honor control, right? And me personally, my biggest regret right now is not seeing Messi in France co-captain or captain the Reggae Boys with Carlton. That is one of my great things that me to us. It was Messi a play ball at the international level, at the highest level, brethren. You know what I mean? But hey, never happened that way. Right?
Yeah, man. I feel what you say, Chris, because it's my opinion. I'm gonna ask the KC man on the panel, because I compare Messi earlier with Dougie Bell, and in my opinion, if Messi the born a different era, a different country, it would have been a big time. In my mind, I talked to Salim Miller the other day, and can chime in after Phil comment on this, and you to Tony. Messi was the best footballer defender me ever see out of Jamaica, and only Dougie Bell me ever see close enough to Messi. And me talk to a KC man with there, and him say me like Dougie Bell the head. But if Messi did born 10 years later when the Reggae Boys in time are in a Knicks country, Messi would have been a world-class player. But Phil, you take that one here first and then you go Thumper.
Well, honestly, muda get that tie because the two of them was two great defender. And when I say great, I mean great because one of the things about defending is like you almost have to be like a midfielder. Your ball intelligence have to high, you have to can read the game. And I think the two of them possess that greatly. Because that is something we look on and but even I plan for ask the guests them that question as to what them think was Messi greatest football attribute. But kind of my estimation, the man have an eye for the game, like him know it's like him can anticipate what happen before it happen. And that's one of the key factors where you have to have if you're gonna be great at anything. But especially the defensive section. But as far as comparing him to Bell, well, me put them equal. Me not tell a lie. Because I feel like say if Messi didn't have film time, Messi would have stand out just as much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really wouldn't put one over the other.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, Yaga give is well, the only way Bell could have get that it would have to be half a precedence. It's like with Pele and Maradona, and people say, well, you know, Pele set the precedence, but
Yeah.
Maradona,
Yeah, I get your
you
feel.
know,
Yeah.
the man. So only on that basis, probably I would have given him the edge. But I think that in reality and in practical terms, I think them equal.
Mm-hmm. And Thumper, I want you to chime in on that one. When the first time you ever see Messi play or you play against him, and your opinion in terms of how good he was, and if he come born at a different time in a different country, if the history are different.
Yeah, so first time I seen him play was during the Corner League. You know, the Junior Corner League, right? When I play for Asphalt and stuff. And then seen him at Dintel, and then I'd give him right now slightly below Dougie because I see Unch a lot more than I saw Messi, right? But what Phil said about the intelligence, football intelligence, is the thing why I love Dougie Bell, and it's the same reason why I love Messi. You see, the football intelligence, and that to me is a key characteristic for a footballer, right? That's a big one. And then it's just that I've seen Dougie a lot more than I saw Messi. Why I'm giving Dougie the edge. But both of them to me would represent just about any team in the world. You know, depending on where they were born and if they played the way they played, they would have represent most teams in the world. They you know, I just said, how them read the game. I used to love how them just drop off the ball to them wing back. Or them take control of the ball from them chest. Them not just pump out the ball out of defense like a lot of Jamaican defenders were doing back then. You understand? Those are the things I'm in love with Messi and Unch. But as I said, I say Unch a lot more. You know? So I give the edge to Unch.
Yeah. Thank you, Thumper. And Ray, why take the question in a different way? Were you disappointed that Messi never get a big time pro contract in terms of because me think Messi have the talent, and when I say Bibi Gardner get $1 million contract in the 90s, I say rated. Because in my mind, Bibi no walk in a Messi shoes. But in born at a different time, and our view to develop much better than Premier League, as we talk about a lot in the partner program, yeah. And have the infrastructure. Talk about that a little, Ray.
Well, I mean, I left Jamaica when Messi, you know, just you know, I mean, I'm in second year playing juvenile, so I didn't see much of him playing in the senior national team. I only saw him when he played juvenile, right? But you know, he did have an opportunity. Which I don't know why he did turn it down, but he did have an opportunity to go to Israel to play. Right? And to this day, I really don't know why he turned it. It was the same year when T-Got and Waterboy, they got contracts abroad. He did get he was invited to go play in Israel and he never went. And that happened right when he came to North America.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But as you said, I mean, the thing I like much about his style of play was the fact that, as you said, when you're playing as a defender, and Chris mentioned it, ball IQ was very high. His intelligence was beyond what most defenders that I have ever seen play. I mean, look at the fact that when he went to Dintil was a school where everybody would be 8, 10, 12 nil.
A Cinderella school, yeah. Cinderella school like my school. At Meadowbrook, yeah. You can't say it.
Right. And in his first year at Dintil, and then the only other recognized player they had on the team was Devon Brooks. And the two of them took Dintil to the finals. And he was so outstanding in the final, even though they lost. I mean, they came up against a Clarendon College team that was unbeatable. But even though they lost, he got called to the juvenile team. And the funny, I say the funny thing about it is that they made a position for him because his first year playing juvenile, he wasn't at centre back, he was playing right back. Yeah. But they had to get him in the team.
Find a place for him, he must play.
They had to find a place for him to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where I realized that the potential of this kid.
Yeah.
I mean, if
yeah, go ahead, Ray. Finish up.
Yeah. So I think looking back at it, the thing that miffed me the more is the fact that he was because of the fact that he wasn't an academic person, and I think he didn't want to leave to go to a foreign country to play, not knowing what he was up against.
Yeah. I can't see that.
Mullah, and that is where a manager would have come in if he had a manager per se.
He throughout his whole career, as great a player as he was, he always needed somebody
to guide him.
Yeah, man.
Guide him.
Yeah, man.
Because just to chime in for a second, you know what you surprised me?
Yeah, finish up, Phil.
He never got no one offered him a coaching contract, especially in today's day where everything compartmentalized in a football. I'm surprised even at the local level, like none of the Premier League team them never seek him out as yes. So I may attack. This been going on for years now, so I'm not attack like last year or 2 years ago. Seek him out as a defensive coach because it's not like him just have the talent to play defense. The man have an understanding of the position. So I think he was more than capable of being a coach. And that's another thing that did surprise me.
And before we come to you, Sally, I want Mullah chime in on this because I think you did there Jamaica longer than Ray, because Ray same leave, and I don't know Mullah, could be wrong. But you must have seen Messi develop later than Mullah, than Ray, his own brother. What was your impression why you think Messi never get a scholarship? Not a scholarship, just get a big time contract.
The thing at the time, as I said, the timing was one of the key, and Messi is a doer. You understand? And then in everything in life, everybody have a set piece to play. And Messi prefer to be out there playing and all them things than really have the guys around him and him say, you do this, you do that, you do this. You know, he said, do what I do. And that's how he went about doing his thing. And as Chris said, he never saw Messi upset. That was what made him such a beautiful player. Cause I've lived with Messi for years. I've seen him up to the late stages, and I've never heard him curse. And that was what made him such a beautiful player, because he was cool under pressure. But for him to impart it might be why, because that wasn't him. He never wanted to be in the limelight. His limelight was when that whistle blow and the 90 minutes, and when it finished, they say, yes, well done, Messi. You understand? So, never want to be there. Like, even when we were playing even a little corner league and stuff, the coach do most of the talking when he could have said nearly anything, and more people would have listened to him than the coach. But he just let the coach do his job. So, he preferred to be the one out there doing it. Trainer, he could have been a very good trainer, because there's nobody fit like him.
Mm-hmm.
In his last days, he was a very fit fella. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody have the talents and what they give to it. And he outshined everybody with the talents he had.
Mm-hmm.
Never got upset, plays ball. And even when the game is over, and everybody else, the people are congratulating, you say, well, Messi, sit down and start warm down. Humble. That was him, humble. Always have a smile on his face.
Yeah.
I remember the last.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, man, you go ahead, man. Finish up, man. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the last few days, last time I saw him, and I said, I'm not going to call you Messi anymore. I'm going to call you what your mother called you, Gary. So every time I was, Gary, why you talk the sugar? Gary, and that smile on his face is that I remember, and that is what tears me up and breaks me down. But this was a person that was such a loving man, but to me, the Buggy Bell argument and the Messi argument might be unbiased, but arguments there.
Hey, nothing wrong, man. Everybody have them preference.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, and that come from a KC, man, or Mulla. Sally, I want you to chime in on this, because when me hear that talk, you say you're messing up a conversation, but one time, you didn't make him an offer where he could have come to England, and I think if the offer that could have work, if someone that could have work, things would have different for Messi, because, but you go ahead and talk about that, Sally.
Yeah, I think it was probably mid-80s. I left Jamaica probably 79, and I went back 82 and go back often, and I think it was probably about mid-80s. I said to him that basically if he could get off the fear, then I'd find the other half and get him up to England, and then I know that I would have been able to get him a trial and so forth, because as I said to people over here, and I said to people in Jamaica, looking at English football and knowing his ability and the levels I know he was capable of, I would say that there's only Sol Campbell and Rio Ferdinand were me that say, but I say upon them level in England. So I think the problem with a lot of the and going back before I'm going to that, but I say that's the level I feel if he come England, he would explode it in terms of the English league. But he reminded me the other day about the same discussion in a car. But he said, what happened? I don't know if I'm telling Ray, or maybe Ray was abroad at the time, but he said that his dad couldn't afford the half fare at the time, so it never really happened. But I wanted to take him to England because I knew that if he came to England, he would have easily got into any team. Yeah, I'm not talking Division 1 and League One and League Two. Even that easy well play at a Premiership level in England. That's how good I know he was. Really, I think also I really mentioned about the Israel thing. I had a lot of discussions with Messi over the years because even when him start playing and I got out, man, come and check me. Anytime I'm in Jamaica, Messi's there. Yeah. Up to when I was there the other day when he was in hospital. When I was there Christmas, me and him got on the field. I would play some ball against a couple of the youth them. The year before that, we got on Dwayne Park. Me and him got on Dwayne Park. A lot of the Premier Car man them come down, come watch. We play against some Dwayne Park, P-War and Kirby and them guys went, yeah. So anyway, even at that late stage, Premier Car people always follow him, yeah. Going to the Dougie Bell discussion. I remember I was with Brody last year, and Dougie Bell was there. The same up top of up by Premier Car Drive, the bar there that someone mentioned on one of the podcasts. Dougie Bell was there, and Dougie Bell said to me that in BS could play Manning Cup from second form right through to, I think, 5 years in play Manning Cup, and then play 4 years on Manning. Yeah, and he could have played the next year, but he left. So, remember, he was saying to me, he wasn't even a centre half at the beginning. He's a player up front, because Bell, a striker, he never want to compete with him brother. So he basically play centre half, yeah. But going back to the comparison between both of them, yeah. I remember being out there 1 year and going down to Helsha, Jollies and Courtney Facey. Had a big discussion with I can't remember who it was. But the argument was who better, Dougie Bell or Messi. So Courtney Facey had meant that Dougie Bell are the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to be biased and say that Messi was the better player. But at the same time, I'd say Dougie Bell was more technical and more smooth, while Messi was more what you call rugged and aggressive. Yeah. So that's my looking at both of them. That's what I would say, that Dougie Bell was smooth and more technical, but Messi, if you want a defender to defend for your life, that's what Messi. That's how me see the two of them.
Yeah, I agree with that, Sally. Messi was an out and out defender, where Dougie Bell was more like an attacking, like a Becking Bar type of a defender then. Dougie Bell would have go forward more than Messi. Yes. But Messi was the out and out defender. You're right about that. So it's two different type of player. But me I give Messi, me biased, so I give Messi the edge. Because I say Messi more than nobody say Dougie Bell. So I said to you, just like how Tompa say Dougie Bell more than him say Messi. So I understand how the bias that works. So you see. So Sally, you bring Messi under your wings from early. Did you realize he was that talented?
Yeah. I always felt that he had talent, because when he came up for the minor league side the second year, I remember at the time it was Fowler from Calabar, it was Follybush. Most people probably remember Follybush. Rest in peace. And then there was Richie Bennett, who Tompa would know. Yeah. And what happened, I remember we had a couple of friendly matches. We went to we play Boystown, we play Arborview. I'm gonna make sure we get all of play the big side and to make sure so you them get the right kind of exposure and things. So anyway, there was like 4 people vying for 4 or 5 training for the center position. Messi was about 14, 15 them times. And you have Fowler play Manning Cup for Calabar, and you have Richie Bennett play for Georges. Yeah? And one evening, one of the game them, I start Messi and Follybush, you start a little boy over me and I say, you know what, I'm telling you something. Messi better than trying to put together. Yeah? No, I'm tell them evening, I said Messi better than trying to put together.
I like that.
They never like it, because he's younger than them, and as people say, him don't talk much, you know.
Yeah.
Just playing football.
Sleeping lion.
I knew from then I knew from then that he basically was a cut above a lot of people in that position, especially. So we know that from a long time.
And Chris,
in terms of
yeah,
like
go ahead, finish up, Sally. Sorry.
In terms of the CM final Ray just mentioned, one of the proudest things for me was that the two captains, Dintil and
Clarendon College.
And Clarendon College was Carlton Briscoe and Messi. And there were two guys that came from Permacal and two guys that played a number of football for me in terms of like I don't remember, people remember, I had a junior car in a team with Messi and Bang at centre half. Well, and them have two Patos side and two Patos side get beaten. You know, and I remember that. But Messi played. Messi played, and you know that.
Choose not to remember that.
Eh? Who said that?
Real.
Chris,
Yeah. So there was two Patos side because Patos split at that time, and basically one Patos side get 5 love, and the next one get 1 love. Kirkwall kept for one on the side, then, right? So Messi was playing for me then, and with Washi Bogle and Briscoe and all of them, right? The side was crazy. Era Walker, Forbes, everybody, right? If I tell the whole panel that, you know that Messi was told he cannot play for me, can't live on Patosi, he can't play for Carwin, and can't play for Salimela, can't live on Patosi. Really, and mother, I saw no real go on.
But them
people know that.
But them defend themselves, Sal. But Mira Mula have to say about that. If you want part of that.
Yeah, go on.
Mula, you know about that?
Hey, give me a minute there to reply. Go on, talk here.
But yeah. Yeah, man. We know. Yeah, go ahead, Ray. Sorry.
The only comment. I do remember that. I do remember that, and I have to admit that I was one of them that was really pissed off with Salimil about it. Him just come on. But back then, that was the type of person. You know, you had two coaches back then that you know them was always shift. You know, Salimil and Teddy Mowat.
From Jordan, Waterhouse. Yeah.
Yeah,
So Sally.
Yeah, but I will.
Them just come and take your players. Them just come and take your player. You know, and they always found a way to grab one of your player. Your player. Them, right?
I'm not getting a transfer fee. Ray, no transfer fee.
Hey, Sally, you mentioned Washibogle. You mentioned Washibogle on the side. Were you coaching them when Dwight, Washi older brother, played on the side? On the Carina side? Carina.
Hold on, that's the next thing people need to understand, you know. Riley Briscoe them tell me we can't have 2 Carina side, you know. So not only Patos tell me Messi can't play for me, Riley Briscoe said to me, tell me live a Carina. We can't have 2 Carina side. That's when Leeds came about.
Right.
Washibogle played for Little Carina.
Right.
Yeah, he never play for, and then play for Leeds in other competitions. But when I moved to the top of Promocal, I changed the name from Carwina. Leeds. Because Ronnie Briscoe, so I can't use Carwina, because I patent the thing. Alright, so I know things, but when I just do my thing still.
Yeah, man. Remember that one very well. Because the year after that, we did beat Asphalt, they beat Carina, the one down at the bottom, 3-1 when Birdie there coached the youth team at the time. Man, I think and Chris Maxwell did involve somehow also with the youth team.
Mm-hmm.
But you remember me bring Dwight Bogle come up Permacal, you know.
And the man them rob him from take him away from me, you know.
And no transfer fee against him, man. But Mullah.
Just like Sally, take Blakey. When we bring Blakey come.
But Mullah, you not gonna make a comment and then you can go ahead, Chris, after Mullah.
Yeah, what I was trying to tell Sally that it's not that we tell Messi him can't play, but remember when it reach like after dark, everybody on the corners and Messi see the camaraderie and the love. So him have him older brother, I'm older brothers. So I tell you, say, boy, them say we can't play phone because of this and that, but his heart was really in for toast.
But he said that Ray, if you not saying I took him away, I had him from he was young. Me and him go Calabar, go train, the two of us just alone, you know. Yeah? I get him to clear the ball from halfway line, I do certain things, you know. Up at Calabar, me and him alone, you know. Enough training, Messi come round. Yeah, Messi come round. Matter of fact, Moffat was saying to me that a lot of Patois man play upon a square. I don't remember seeing Ray and Muller. I don't remember them come around the field, little field and a big field. Because these control the whole around there, so, you know, a evening time. I never come a big field.
I'm up for the record, I Raggedy matter about Phil.
Yeah, man, me know that jelly.
Yeah. Me just have cleared, yeah.
And
yeah, man,
yeah.
So you really in the development, not lying. But I'm just saying that the heart was always for Tosi. You know?
Him grow a Patois and him love Patois and him brother live a Patois and roots and all on the grow. So him gonna have a love for Patois. So I'm not going to deny that, yeah?
No, Salah, me I tell you, you have to come back on day one podcast because your skill and your ability need a whole 4 or 5 hours alone because, trust me, your talent.
Well, you say there's a lot of grievance that get cleared out.
No, no grievance, no grievance.
Hey, listen, you know, listen to a couple of the podcasts, you know, I say some of the stuff for people I say, all right, not 100% accurate, but what I'm saying, even with, people don't know with the thing with Raleigh and Carwin and so forth, right? And I'm saying, all right, then, you know, if I name a rundown, it's not about name, you know, it's about the youth, them and the development.
The talent, yeah.
And even when Roots get take Messi to the and they reach the next final, you know, the year after that, and Roots go for the whole Excelsior Manning Cup team. Bangy and Messi, who was playing centre for me the year before, get 2 love the evening. Because Briscoe come play for me, and a 2 love Messi them get. All play right back for me that day. The evening after that, all the way went out. Perka, the whole of us went out. Bruce still, Patos still get beaten. Patos never beat me and nothing yet. Put in the scene into 1 year, Cena Corner League will play. 2-2 the match draw.
What you say? You're like Pep and Arteta. Can't be.
No, you can't put Arteta in that mix the jelly too early.
Anyway, we don't want to go back talking about go stick to Messi because Sally, you have to come back and join me here, so we're going to set up that for you come back and Muller too because separate thing because I will buy extra now, but I'm Messi we want to focus on today, so we don't want to get off track.
Yeah. So the thing with Messi too, Messi could have gone to Israel with Diga them. Can you tell me? Yeah. But I think basically the time Mendel came down and started a team, Solafield, and all of the big ballers, including Messi. Messi left Santos.
Yeah, remember that Solafield league necessarily, yes.
Mendel was paying money.
Yeah.
Mendel was paying money, so all the players, Messi, obviously, he'll go for Messi and so forth.
And him never have to leave.
There.
Yeah, him never. Then, go ahead, Sally. Sorry.
And Jackie Bell basically said to him, Messi, we don't want you going on. We'll pay you whatever. Yeah, but see, Mendel line up a package for Messi, so Messi go. Yeah.
Make him an offer and could refuse.
Even after that, he could have gone to Israel, but he never go because he turned it down. Then when he wanted to go, Mendel said to him, say, more willing for pay attackers, so that Tiga Davis and Walter Boyd went, and Messi never did end up going Yeah. So the whole history, and how me and Messi sit down for even the last couple of years, sit down and talk a whole heap. Come at the house the other day, 2 years ago, and Big Ed came, and I'm round there talk about them juvenile days and Briscoe and the team and all
You get
kind of
that in
things.
Andrew Sinclair, Sally?
Yeah, then
Yeah.
him play. They must say
Oh,
Andy Sinclair.
Yeah.
yeah, when we mentioned that in our previous program, you know, say all the top ball of them playing at the corner league.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, that
Remember, even the
doing the
junior
part,
corner
man,
league,
that.
you know, Arling Gardens, it have Mifkel,
Yeah,
yeah,
man, Dylan.
O'Neal Thomas. A 4 we give them yeah. So all them
Valentine Garden attack, Sally, Arling. Valentine Garden.
Yeah,
The part that
Eventually Basco take over the big side.
right, boss.
Side, yeah.
well, don't mix them up, you know. Let me explain.
Yeah, that me a similar. Clear up that for me.
You're gone.
Yeah, give you a brief insight on that. My eldest sister was talking to a dude named David Swaby, and he came from Valentine Garden.
Yeah.
All right. So when he came on, now he started hanging out with us, and he saw man like me and Flooney and Ray and the man there. Them time the man like Mabuk and the man there, we still a play for Patosi.
Yeah.
I must say, oh no, one play. I was said yes. And he said, all right. And he went to them and asked him to bring in a side. And them said, we have a Patosi already. So them said, all right, Valentine Garden. And that's how they started on my veranda. As with many Patosi side, junior side. All right? And then what happened is, when we saw the opposition, he said, don't worry, I have some friends that I can bring in. First Sunday on my veranda, you have man like Dove, what the golden name again? Harvey Edwards, Billy Perkins, Big Anthony Berger.
Berger, yeah. That a maybe brother, yeah.
Brother come from a park named Wire, Wally man.
Mm-hmm.
So we in turn lump on the bench again. Problem with Valentine was that it was not team, it was a side.
Yeah.
So if we had a game at 1 o'clock, and the man him say me 12 o'clock from my yard. By all 12:55, only 3 at the top ball of them come. So it kind of really make Valentine, as we say, never materialize. But Valentine wasn't Arling Garden. Arling Garden
That's separating, right. Thanks for clearing up that, Mullah. I say, Valentine Garden earlier is like Chelsea have the whole heap of money and now I got reach well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Jelly, what for your talk, you know? Remember, say Paul no come on yet.
So I'm not that start.
Yeah.
Valentine.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mullah. And Chris, I want to go back to Messi now because I know you were instrumental in Messi going to Dintil because when you talk about that one there at South Florida one day, are you aware of the situation behind Messi? Did you realize the talent of Messi have? And talk about that transition there from secondary football to Dintil. Because as far as me concerned, Dintil, not as far as me concerned, the record show that Dintil have not won another the Costa Cup competition since that era there in 1980. So
yeah, that's exactly right. So I kind of want to give my take first on the discussion about Messi and Dougie Bell, okay? And start off by saying that there are certain center halves in Jamaica that Messi admired. Dougie Bell being one, Carl Brown being the other. All right? I think that they had two different games, okay? They were two solid defenders, but they organized their defense lines in two different ways, all right? Dougie Bell was a more finesse player, as Keith pointed out. Messi was more, like you say, total footballer, rugged. I think Messi was better in the air than Dougie Bell, all right? But in terms of football intelligence, they were very I would say that they were great players. All right. Um, I always gonna have a bias to say that in my time, in his era, Messi was the best center half Jamaica produced. That's my argument. Okay. All right. In terms of his development, right? It started by a group of us trying to get Messi into Excelsior. And so
I remember.
Clooney and I and Roots, all right, went to Excelsior. Time I was at community college in Excelsior, and we tried to get Flooney, Flooney and I and Roots tried to get him into Excelsior. Jeffrey Maxwell was the coach. Well, one evening we went around there to watch practice at the back of the school, and we see our boy on the bench. So Flooney say, "Hey Jeffrey, how come you have two team of play and our boy up on the bench?" Jeffrey Maxwell response, which is something I'll never forget as long as I live. That boy don't know nothing about football. That was Jeffrey Maxwell's exact words to us. Okay? And who went to Santos and get whose game? All right? This is what a man need to know, right? So when Messi went to Santos, that's the game him get. The man who said him don't know no about football. Right?
Which speaks to his
Okay.
knowledge of football.
That's 10-4. All right. So Miss and Ray have a uncle, who know of a man down in the Linton area, a coach named Ross Sepidars. Now Ross Sepidars is a man who was coaching Dinton. And Ross Sepidars didn't have a problem bringing Messi to Dinton. God, Messi is a pure footballer. That's all him want to do, play ball. All right? So it was an accident that Ross Sepidars accept Messi into Dinton and give him an opportunity. All right? All right, so we transition now, and Messi is blossoming, right? I witnessed Messi development, right? And we can always, hindsight is 2020, we can always talk about why he didn't make it to the pros and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of factors involved. Some of it has to do with Messi's personality. All right, I remember me and Roots going down to Antillians to argue with Jackie Bell as to why Messi was not named captain for the national team. Okay? Why wasn't Messi named captain for the national team? We went down there with blood in our eyes to Antillians. All right? And Jackie Bell said to us, which basically shut us up, he doesn't know how Messi want the game to play. He never talks. He doesn't communicate. He was not that person. Messi led by what he did on the field. So I say he organized his defense line different from how Dougie Bell would do it, right? He organized his defense line by doing. He was a doer, right? And people follow his lead. So Jackie Bell was just pointing out to us that in terms of being vocal about how the game should play and how you would like to play, which is not the game to be played, the team to be organized. Those are important elements that a captain need to have, right? It's not like he didn't have them, but he didn't express them, right? The other thing too is so why we didn't go to Israel. It was right at the time when that discussion came up. It was at the time when Messi was in this transition from Santos, right? So much so that I witnessed a fight between Jackie Bell and Mendel. Okay? These are things that is happening behind the scene because of individual, I guess, likes, dislikes, biases, and so on and so forth. So all of that played into decisions, right? The whole politics of being a national representative on a coach like Jackie Bell. All of those things figure into Messi's decision, I believe. The other thing I think was very important when I think about a player like Dangodi, if that ever remember Dangodi,
Yeah, man.
those were great players. And you ask the question, how come these guys didn't make it to Europe and play all these games, and make it? Because they were excellent players at the time, right? It has to do with, I need to have, somebody mentioned it before, they need to have a personal manager. Nowadays, people have agent, right, to go and represent them. Messi needed an agent. People like me, Ray, Muller, Clooney, all of us, we never, brethren, we never have the skills. We never had the tools, right?
And the
To
time.
to at time to really lead Messi to where he really belongs.
Now, hold on, Chris. Hold that thought there. Make I push back like upon that. I'm not going to point out this to all I know. I'm going to say it flippantly or as a dig to, no?
Right.
I think if we don't see the vision with the money involved, we don't find the time.
Yeah, but Jenny, Jenny, I think that was one of the things too, you see, in a them time there,
The money wasn't
this
there.
is like, listen out, this is like a parallel to music. Yes, the Bob and them man, then I feel them time, them just love the fucking music. Them love it. Them not even a pre-money, them just love the music. I see them thing with the football. The man, them, it's like what them say. The man just love football. The man not think about monetary aspect of it. Him just want to play football. The man love football, and priority was the money. Now we're in an era where as all man think about is money, especially if him a play in a top league and him win a championship, him don't not care about winning them. Him want money, him want cash value. Because him know same time limited.
And it's
So it's a different mentality altogether.
And it's not a criticism. It's not a criticism, Muller or Ray or Chris or even Sally. It's not a criticism to them because you're right, Muller. The money never did at the time. I thought about the same thing. No money never in it. Like, no, a man that know if we find the money. You follow me? I said to you.
But it wasn't about money. That's why them time there was the best at sport. Because I tell you, World Cup not nice like them time they know. Because everybody, at cricket, you name it. Everybody preoccupied with money. I want you preoccupied with money, it going to spoil the thing.
Dilute the sport.
Man.
Hold
on, let Chris finish up.
Yeah. So another point I want to make, when Garfield played juvenile, first juvenile team. That juvenile team, in my opinion, was the best prepared team Jamaica ever had.
Who coached that team, Chris?
Bradley Stewart.
Bradley Stewart, okay, right? Yeah.
It was the best prepared team, right? With the talent that was on that team, captained by Carlton Bristol, to transition into the senior team, okay? I'll tell you something, man. I cry when we look at Reggae Boys and Messi them at the center half. Yeah, man, I cry, right? Because that team there that they put together was the team that was going to go and shine. You know, hindsight's 2020 again. Had Messi stayed in Jamaica and not go to North America, he would have been on that team. I won't say he would be the captain, but he would be on that team, and he would have gotten the exposure that he needed so badly. Because at that time, he was at the top of his career. Now, I want to piggyback on something that Keith said. Had Messi made it to Europe at that time, his skills would have enhanced even further, right? He would have been unstoppable. Any division team in England, Premier League team, would have picked Messi up, and he wouldn't be a player that you traded. He would be a fixture on the team had he gone in and learned that system. I agree with that 100%, right? Part of it, and sometimes I blame myself, all right? Like, I could have, there's more we could have done. And next month I said, no, that's not true, Chris. Don't do it. I had long conversation with Flutie. I had long conversation with Roots, Ray. I mean, we're all on the same page, right? But that's life. God had a plan, right? And
Yeah.
that's just how the
Yep.
plan went.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just how the plan went. Right?
Yeah, go ahead, Ray. Sound like
If
you
I
want to say
can,
something.
I mean, Muller said something, mentioned it earlier, the era that Messi came, had he come in this era, no, regardless of who we are or what we, like I said, Muller said we didn't have the time, because we were all trying to, build our own career.
We're not trying to survive, Ray. We're not trying to survive, so yeah.
Knowing if Messi had come around in this era where there is money in the game, trust me, we would have all found a way to get him there, get him to where he is.
Yeah, man. We'll not be.
But because it's a different era back then, I mean.
Yeah, man. I follow what you say, Ray. What you really say? If it was now, only the farm a company, and that'd be like a sports management company.
Right.
And Messi that be on the top recruit, without a doubt. And it's like
Right, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. No man, I see that. Because I say all I know. The whole of the pot was the man, but I just farm a company and the side say we are gonna recruit the players them for do them thing here because the money that they do. The return for investment will be there for Una for the players them. Because when
exactly.
When I want to Sally chime in, but before Sally chime in, I want Thumper chime in for this as the accountant minded man in the conversation. All the money that work, if the time is different, or could the money have worked back then?
Well, a couple of things. So first thing, you wouldn't need, if it was this time, you wouldn't even need a management team, They would have come for him anyhow. You understand? They would have spot him, whether it's one of them youth that will have a program now. Would roll up a programs that out there.
Academy.
One of them would have grabbed him, right? They would have grabbed him. So even it would have been nice if the Patosi man them would have them development management team, but somebody else would have grabbed him anyhow in terms of the time. Now the other thing, when I look back at it and said, okay, yeah, the money not there, but the same argument where we talk about why Pembroke Hall itself didn't develop the way, man want to play for the better side, A man run go Santos, man run go Boys Town, right? Them team that go grab the man and a good baller. If we had the same influx of foreign countries coming to Jamaica like we have it now, or the media or whatever, them get to see them now, that's also part of it, because Messi would have want to play in the best league. You understand? So regardless of the money, he would have want to play in the best league. So people would have find them if the time was different. And just as Chris mentioned, there's a bunch of ballers, Dangadi, and we can name a million of them. From Diego Garden, we can name a million of them back then. Those opportunities weren't there back then, the way it is now. So that's how we look at it now. The money now, the Premier League is a lot better because of money. Get some, we can say certain things get watered down, yes. But even that, when you look at the World Cup team, them, the countryside, them now, man, them represent them country. Them play harder for them clubs, Them don't want to get injured when them play for them country, a lot of them. But when you watch the Premier League now, it's a joy if you watch that. You see? And money, they're there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, we have to go get the Saudis out, or, and somehow
The oil
prevent
money. Yeah, we can't
from
compete with that. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
of the
A different thing
everything,
that.
But,
That
but
a match up
So,
Manchester City, but we're not going to say today. We're not going to say.
no. But Messi to me would have played at any era if opportunities were there. He's one of that type of footballer. Any era.
And
If
Sally, why I think about the question then this way? Because in my mind, Jamaica football suffer because a lack of organizational skill compared to track and field. Because track and field, look how much money, look on the track and field program now compared to, even though the man make money on football now. The track and field program are world class and can compete with the best. Jamaica football program, I can't say we can compete with the best. We are struggling at CONCACAF. And Phil asked a question the other day, say, could Jamaica, when me and matter, could Jamaica male team beat the Spanish football, the female World Cup winning team? I mean, I say, money want to see that match a play because I know all them get embarrassed. But Sally,
which they would.
yeah, Sally, you think say because we hear them talk about how the system in Jamaica, right? The football, how it organized, it never conducive to the development of talent. Remember, put it plain. It's not until Rene Timoes come and reach at the World Cup. Why you think that is, Sally? As a man who look on it from a man who do the coaching from a long time and then go foreign and come back and forth. Why is it Jamaica football? And I don't think it's fully developed now. And
It's still not developed. Look on the game the other night with Honduras.
And Messi suffer because of that. Because without doubt, I one of the best talent Jamaica ever produced. Right? Yeah. Up there in the top 5 player with Jamaica in the last 40 years. I mean, say as me say. And yet still, him never end up get the production we want. Why do you think that is, Sally?
I think basically the talent pool was greater in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. There was way better players then, but the infrastructure wasn't there, and the organization wasn't there. Yeah, I go to Jamaica regularly, and I used to put on the competitions even when I live over a year ago. I put on, yeah. The talent that was there back in the day is no longer there. The basketball and the computer games and all them kind of things. For instance, more of them used to play, real them play. Me on the talk about the square, me a preg talk about down a car, every road had them scrimmage and them football. Every road in Permacal had 6 or 7 top ballers. Other man who can play.
Yeah.
But there was basically Dwayne Park and a whole heap of ballers. Yeah. Waterhouse, whatever. The infrastructure wasn't there to harness that talent. And yeah. And then what happened? The migration of a lot of people in abroad meant that the football get watered on even in terms of Permacal. Because Permacal is a joke now compared to what it used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah? And it's embarrassing for me for go to Jamaica and even being England and people asking about Permacal and Jamaican football. Because me watch the national side play Honduras, yeah? And half of the players them there now are very average. And Bailey's and all them players are nowhere as good as your big heads and them kind of player than your Diego Garfield. Yeah? So,
without a doubt.
But the talent, and people have to also remember, back in the day, CONCACAF was always USA and Mexico, and there was less spaces in the World Cup, because World Cup was 16.
Yeah, right.
Yeah? People need to understand that how things have changed now. They're moving forward to a 48 World Cup. Back in the day, it was 16. Right. Yeah? So that's the reason why Jamaica probably never qualified them technically. The talent was there. So looking at it now, I feel like the resources is lacking. The fields are terrible.
Yeah,
Jamaica played a match the other night. Jamaica played a match the other night at the stadium. Brown had a concert last week. They mashed up the field.
Yeah.
Died the pitch, you know. The brown part died the grass.
Yeah. Fool people into thinking it's flush.
Yeah. So people need to understand, and I'm in another group where people are saying that the people them that run the stadium shouldn't give Chris Brown. If Chris Brown and people and the promoter come with a big wad of cash say we want the stadium, you think they're going to turn it down because Jamaica have a match in 4 nights time? It's busy. Football is busy now, you know.
Yeah, it is. It
And
is.
that's why I know that now the talent pool that was in the 70s and 80s, if that was harnessed properly, a lot of contracts, Messi would have a massive Messi would be a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
Yeah, man.
I mean, know that. And in a roundabout way, even me migrating over here, I said to myself, say, if we stay a little longer and they try to push certain things, maybe, you know, we could have get
different.
enough of them footballers abroad, yeah? And more than everybody got America. America don't play football in time, eh? They don't call it, they still call it soccer.
Soccer,
Come on.
yeah.
See that? I thank you for that, brother, man.
So I say the
The
photo.
quality, look the money where they are saw, and look for MLS. MLS is garbage.
So even with the photocopy Messi now getting a better.
Hey, Lance. Lance,
Yeah, go ahead.
one question you asked was about Simones, why he was successful, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that Simones did, like Calder before him, right, mentioned was that we need to organize in the rural parishes. We need to be organized throughout the island. The talent need to come. Got to have a feeder infrastructure, if you will, right? At its first couple of years in Jamaica, that's what they did. Okay, that was lost after the Reggae Boys went to France and all these sort of things. It's like it was no more support, right? And it's still no more support. So I agree with the points that he's just making is that Jamaica always had the talent, just never had infrastructure. I remember this. Let me share some with you guys another thing. One year, I don't know if you all remember when Martin Woodstock, Gerald Dugan, I think Andrews, 3 schoolboys get called up to the national team. Gerald Dugan was one of them. And Gerald never played. When I played at Santos in New York with Gerald, I asked him, and he was surprised that somebody remembered that. I asked him, I said, Gerald, why didn't you play for Jamaica? And the man told me, he said he went to training and they wanted him to buy his own boots. Okay? I'm just saying, you know, later for that, it was 6 pounds and focus on education, right? So it's things like those, events like that, because the infrastructure and the support was never there, as Keith is talking about. It kind of retarded and discouraged and never put forward the talent that we had. Another thing is infrastructure, the soccer fields, right? The coaches, the training of the coaches, the qualification of the coaches, those things weren't there. And a thing that I never paid attention to, which is what Keith just mentioned, is, people are playing video game now, right? Or we can go do scamming. We don't have to play football.
That have more money.
And Lance, the last point I want to make, right? Because I have to jump off. I'm going to catch a flight. So I have to jump off and join you guys back. But one of the things, Lance, that I remember, a guy like you was different from us in that you were always an entrepreneur, right? I don't think our crew, and for to us, we were entrepreneurs, right? I don't think we had that in our mind back then. Maybe if you were living on Potosi, it would be different. Don't worry about that.
Let me try to answer that, Chris. That's a good question you bring up. Let me try to come and think about it, right? I see when I talk about where you talk about Dugan go through a play for Jamaica, or Messi go through a try play for Santos. Not Santos. I Meadowbrook me go, and when we go Meadowbrook, No Meadowbrook man now get picked for no team at all for do nothing. They say, what I talk about, we experienced that at Meadowbrook. No cure good it was. Tony Gaga Meadowbrook. The best football ever go Meadowbrook. A Patosi man again. Tony Wills. Right? And yet still, the youth will play Walker Cup for in 1986. Him get picked for all Manning. And when him go, the top goal scorer in a Walker Cup for the year when they win the Walker Cup final. When him go at the training camp, them give him, on the bench him a put in. So them insularity there are something well known. So you're right, Chris. Because you go to school at Meadowbrook, I have to think outside of the box. You're right about that, Chris. That is something where I have to think outside of the box. How am I going to survive? Because I know say I play against the 8 ball. I now get a fair shake. I now get a fair shake because I go Calabar, I go KC. And no, I now look out against some of our judges.
No, but it's true.
But
It's
Lance,
true, Lance.
but Lance,
It's true.
Lance.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we all want to be honest about everything, even the rural players, them never get an opportunity.
No, right. I'm not going to say Meadowbrook alone. No, I agree with the Thumper. Right.
No.
That is true. Very true.
Let me say something about that. Rural. When Messi started playing with Jamaica, I was working adjacent to the stadium. So many evenings I used to walk over there and watch them play. And there was a couple of guys that played with Messi at Dintil that I got called for the Jamaica team. And after the training was over, I was the one who had to give them bus fare. Many evenings. And after a while, I'm saying I'm not coming back because when I'm leave stadium to go back a country, sometimes if I'm not there, I'm not there, get on a bus fare, them can't reach home till maybe the next morning. So a lot of them never come back. So them never really get a fair shake as a Thumper say. And it was tough. You know what I'm saying?
You had different time, Bulla.
very
tough.
And you talk about a politically volatile 1970s.
Yeah.
Where you go much a stadium and you walk go across roads. If you know what yourself, or know where you go walk go, you might don't reach home.
And then tell them how you call country boy and know the area.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of them never come back,
No.
That's why sometimes in Jamaica, the 15, 16 and the squad is most of the town people.
Yeah.
Because the better player them say, I come back, I stay home. Because you have the man them finish training and you give them like a mile up. And then
And schedule.
And that's it. Them have to find them way
but
home.
ultimately that is the government negligence and gross irresponsibleness.
So you're the question now. Phil. Because why is it then that track and field the survival of them insular today?
Individual sport.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Individual sport.
Individuality.
Individual sport.
And class.
9.65 is
And class. And
yeah,
class.
9.65 is a 9.65. You know?
Yeah.
No matter if you're a country boy or not, the man can't take.
And not only that too, just because of the success of Herb McKinley and Quarry and them people, athletics have always had a certain level of support.
Yeah, Dan Quarry and them.
Yeah, man.
Especially among
A 98 World Cup team, because of the 98 World Cup success, why money in a football now,
That's why they get the name regular boys.
Especially among the ruling class. Hey, I have a question to ask you guys. Do you all remember a player from Violet players?
Violet Kickers.
Yeah, a brown skin brother.
Centre half.
I'm back.
No, right.
No,
Talk about Bert Robinson.
Go again, Thumper.
No, I think you're talking about Bert Robinson.
No, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. The reason I'm bringing this up is when when I was a little boy, Jamaica called up a national team. At the time, Ali McNabb was in the country playing for that team, right? But him and Ali McNabb would be the only two players from the rural areas that were called up to a Jamaican team. I just can't remember.
He's a
You know.
defender. We know that, sir. We don't remember his name, though.
And Bert Robinson, you deal with. Bert Robinson.
No, he have a different name, Thumper. I know
I
who
read
Chris is
that Muller, Ray.
Sorry. No, Bert. Sorry.
Bert Robinson, they play right back on the national team way back when. And they come from down in the country. Somewhere down the way they come from.
No,
Yeah,
no,
brother
no.
used to play for Violet Kickers.
Yeah, man, a brown skin brother, man. We know your
Yeah,
time.
man, play for Violet.
But-
And where Ali they play at that time, Chris?
I think a Kirkvine, you know.
Time did-
A Kirkvine they play for.
Center
They
forward.
play at Kirkland.
And you center forward and play, man. Pass me the ball,
Yeah, but when-
PK cat.
Yeah.
Oh, PK. Yeah.
But well, I'm asking you something about Messi though, and Ray, and maybe Sally, and definitely Muller can answer this. Cause I remember Messi have a boats. And remember the magazine named Tiger Scorcher with the youth named Billy's Boats?
Yes, sir.
Messi have a boats.
yes.
Messi have a boats that look like Billy's Boats. How did you get that for 50? I find that. Ray, and you take that one the first.
Yeah, dig down on some deep memories, you know. I barely remember. I kind of remember the boots, you know.
You know who bought him that boot? The same uncle bought him the
The
scoop.
scope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same man.
Yes.
That was before Adidas and everything, they're big thing in the Muller. If it's a boat, so it's like a aisle boats, you know. It
Yeah,
was,
man, we know you talk about. Remember the boots, man. We never see it yet when them bring it from Patos to come get.
It's like a rugby boot.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
One of
Come
the
on.
high top boots with pegs.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
So,
before the runoff, you know, no need you to bring back Sally for true cause I have to really thank Sally Miller and give me a couple of games for them Leeds team. And they also team enough in Jersey them out there in backyard.
Yeah, the teeth, the Leeds jersey, them go Florida, go play a tournament. Me hear about it, man.
You remember that?
A man tell me, say, them teeth have the Leeds gears off of the back and go Florida, play
Yeah, man.
competition.
Yep.
off of the back of your line, back of your yard, Sally.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
But
but
Leeds is trash out with gears, you know.
yeah. So Sally, let me ask you something.
We never have no money, you know.
I don't know if I can ask you.
Drive and car wash and tap into Mr. Snape sponsor the first team with the car winner team. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I go to the people and for sponsorship. I'm gonna get sponsorship. I do enough things, you know, where I get money for able for the certain things. Crimson Dawn, Precker was good at. Yeah, I'm gonna Crimson Dawn and all the jerseys and all. No, listen, man, those days were great days. Great days.
Oh, Sally, remember one time you made a trophy. It was a wooden made shaped like a heart with some penny or some stick on it. Remember? And the youth them from Olympic Gardens, Jumbo and them one, the Peter Royal, them the win. And when them see the trophy, them vex. You remember?
Yeah, the money out for the trophy.
Yeah.
The money out for the trophy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yes, Sally.
Eh?
Sally was a very good organizer, man. I tell you about that.
Absolutely.
Take my hat off to your kids.
No man, every time what me mount Muller, me I say this man has skill. Me I tell you to write it. As me say, me can't appropriate it. Me don't know how Sally is not a big time a FIFA member with them organizational skill. Me don't know. Sally, you miss your calling here. That's all me can say, man. You supposed to.
The man is a visionary, man.
Do you know that we had training this morning and I came from Jamaica, probably from about 1980 I started a team. It's still going now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, the youth them have them all start. The youth them I started with them bring them children and grow up now and then bring them the children start bringing the grandchildren in. So we still play ball. I'm still out for Jamaica. I'm having Jamaica players that play for Jamaica still playing. We play Masters now. So we train this morning. So I do the football. I'm well known in the community over here for football.
Yeah,
So it never.
and for the
All right.
record, Sally, which part of the UK you there?
Birmingham.
Birmingham. Okay. Aston Villa. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Sally, you're a legend in a Pembroke, trust me.
Yeah, man.
Trust
Yeah,
me,
man.
How you mean, man?
Me-
Legend
But
of
me ask a question.
Thank you.
But me ask a question for go around the table with all of them. I start to do for Sally. What the best match you ever seen Messi play, or the most impactful match you ever seen him play?
Well, to be honest, it's difficult for me to say one particular game because majority of the games that I see him play, yeah, I can't remember him having a bad game. And basically, as I said, it's difficult for me to say the most important one. So I'm going for pass on that. All I can say is that it was a pleasure and just a pleasure. Beyond that.
You see him
Even
play.
in terms of him passing, I feel like I lose a son. Even though I'm not that much older than him.
Yeah.
I'll let Ray and Muller them talk about the particular matches. Because they play with Patos in a corner league with him enough and so forth.
Yeah. All right, you take that question first, Muller, in terms of which match you remember you look on as a rat, you remember the most where you see Messi, the impact of Messi had.
Second finals, the Costa Cup.
Mm-hmm. Who them a play?
And I wouldn't play again. I don't remember, but where the man command the field, man. He was like not only a center, but he was like a original holding midfielder.
Like a
That
war
when him come
general.
forward. Yeah, man. And to make it local, the last official Corner League finals, I will play against Bastion Bombers and Dirks. I think that match supposed to be somewhere on a tape. And Dirks bring two and referee them official. Down at Premier secondary jam. And when Messi started at center,
Muller, I'm not cut you. Which year that was?
I'm going to tell you exactly. Let me see. 85.
Okay.
And we'll play against Bastion, and Bastion bring about 4 Jamaican nationals. We play for Boystown. But we love our Jamaican national them because we have Owie Martin and them youth there and thing and Mivian, And I'm telling you, when Messi stand out, man, that after the game, the whole field surround Messi, man. That's all one time. The way Messi make a tackle and pick up the ball. Even Dirks used to drop out time more because Dirks applaud. Yeah.
I will match you play Muller at the Mecca or over the school?
Secondary.
Over the school, okay.
What we did, the first round we played up by the top field to get the crowd going, and then the second round we played down by the school. Because remember, by FIFA, the right half the field.
Yeah.
But that game, I remember, Roots never start me, because ball wasn't never in my priority. Roots bring me on, and a man ever me in my jar for about 2 weeks, I drink soup. And Messi said to me, Muller, remember what we train. Remember, when I say over there tackle, just duck. And Messi, the brother run, come on again, Messi, over there tackle. And we just touch my toe of them, and when Messi kick over my head, right now the Manchester. That's all. The man have to come out same time, man. But Messi was the man of the match the day there. But that's the local, but me I tell you the Costa Cup finals. Might be real
Chris.
Baptist can remember.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah,
which match you remember the most when you think about Messi? Which match?
Me?
Yeah, Chris. I'm gone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm there still. I'm there, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Chris.
no, I'm here. There's 2 games, right? One is the same finals. Hey, guys, it's over 40 years ago, right? So I don't remember all the specifics. But that particular game Michael just talked about was one of the games, right? But another game that I saw Garfield play was, again, Permacar versus Duane Park, Iman Ray.
Yeah, I just remember that game there.
Right? Yeah, that was a beautiful game, man. I mean, And I don't, guys, we don't have no pictures to or in a videotape of those games, right? But it was a great game because for me, it was two of my brothers were playing staff, right? Two good center halves were playing against Bedford that evening.
Yeah.
That was a great game, and Premier came out victorious. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Ray, any memory of the best game you ever see Messi play? Whether you play or you watch with him. What stand out?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I only saw him as a schoolboy. Right, I left Jamaica after, but the best game I saw him playing as a schoolboy was the year them played the Oliver Shield when them played Camperdown. And it was the game was deemed Messi versus Blakey. I don't know if you remember that game. And we go down and actually the first round they played Alcan.
Alcan, yes.
Oh yeah. And I tell you, it was like start to finish. It was Messi Blakey. That's the whole game, yeah. I think that was where he stamped out his
Make him name, yeah.
He introduced himself to Jamaica.
I remember the match up the Ray, but it's almost like I remember the match up the continent and all man in all the Costa. And I remember Messi at left middle. And I think he put Blake up on the cycle track, if I remember serves me right.
Yes.
You're right about that, Jelly.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Sally. Go ahead.
There was.
Well, go ahead. Finish up, Ray.
Yeah, there was one other game, and actually, who remind me about that game. When I was in Jamaica recently. I had a conversation with Mivy. Mivy said, "Ray, I can't forget the game. Patosi went and played Corner League over Marvally.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the team we were playing, but Patosi was down either 2 or 3-0. And we got a corner. And maybe say, Ray, I don't know who scored the goal. If it was you or Messi. He said, Muller take the corner, and back in those days, when Muller take a corner, we know it's either my head or Messi head it go for. And he said the two of us went up and he don't remember who hit the ball.
Yeah, that game was a wicked game.
Patosi came back and won that game, but Messi really stood out in that game.
Yeah, go ahead, Sally.
I never.
You finish up, Ray. Sorry.
I never saw him beyond schoolboy, so I never saw him playing for Jamaica. Aside from juvenile, I didn't see him in the senior year.
Yes, Sally, go ahead.
That's my best game I ever.
Yeah. Ray probably forget that he played Major League with Messi. I think Baptiste mentioned it. The Major League game up at the Mecca. Dwayne Park versus Permacar. Yeah. Messi and Deon play centre half. Ken Rose was the coach for Dwayne Park. Scammy, Big Ed, Sewell, the whole of Duggan and the whole of the ball of them. Yeah? Messi and Deon. 5 Leeds man played that day then. Or probably more than that. Because Ray play left back, play right back.
Yeah.
Deon and Messi play centre half. Jumbo, Peter were playing on the middle. Diego play one side. Edelman and Boomed play up front. And I think a baller do it. Dwayne Park, me here half time, Ken Rose said, "Oh, look at minor league boy, them play centre half, I deal with them." Yeah, listen, Messi and Dean and them players of them skin that day. A chill of Dwayne Park getting them.
Yeah, man.
Ray played that game. Ray, that was a major league game. That wasn't schoolboy football, a big football game.
But you have to excuse Ray.
Hey,
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Big game. That was a big and
Big-
rivalry between Pembroke and Dwayne Park from
Dwayne
then.
Park.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Well
Yeah,
known.
was huge because
Well known, man.
I give another little story. First year I done the minor league side with Ray player and Hackett player and Flooney keep. I had to go to sports and games to Jeffrey Maxwell. He was Excelsior coach at the time. I had to get permission. I had to get him to sign to release Briscoe, play a minor league, because that's what it used to go them times. Yeah? And he refused to sign the release Briscoe to play. Minor league. I'm saying Briscoe. I'm saying to Jeffrey Maxwell, listen, Briscoe never learned football at
Excelsior.
Excelsior. He learned at Permacar. Eventually, him signed. 3 games Briscoe played that season. Played the 2 in the park game and 1 other game. Cause it was hard for him to get him to play a certain game. But him always want to play against Dwayne Park. And Junior Corner League, him always want to play against Patosi. I'll give another little story about Messi. Messi go to Excelsior training, same way Baptiste I said. Messi go to Excelsior training for Manning Cup. And Jeffrey Maxwell have sit on the bench. So Messi say, no, I'm not really too bad. Because he picked Bangy at centre half. Bangy, as good as him is, was never nowhere as good as Messi. But he picked Bangy. Bam, Messi got Dintil the first year. Messi played 3 years at Dintil, and the 3 years them got final. And the second one where I think against Blakey, him lose. The first one Briscoe and the last one. Can you tell me all them things, you know? Come in and sit down and reason about enough things, yeah? Anyway, the year after, the first year, the second year now, a Manning Cup, the Costa Cup. Who come up Patosi? Craig's and Jeffrey Maxwell and Messi. Jeffrey Maxwell I beg Messi to come at Excelsior. Messi said, no, I'm good, man, I'm good. Yeah? I don't know if you know that story there.
No,
Yeah, man.
no. Me never know that story there.
Craig's and Jeffrey Maxwell come at Patosi and say, boy, he make a mistake, him I love Messi come at Excelsior. After the year, I never know, so him tell him say that Messi don't know about football. You know. But the thing, show you all the things said, the next year, him come on there forget Messi. And Messi said, no, I'm good at didn't you?
Poetic justice, man.
Yeah.
See, worse, Messi say him play a couple of games at centre half for Jeffrey Maxwell, and eventually him get for Maxwell game. And him get Craig's game too.
Yeah. And Tompa, you remember which game remember Messi play the most impact on you in terms of as a player or just play against or watch him play?
No, as mentioned earlier, you know, like Ray, I never really saw Messi play in the adult age. I remember me left Jamaica 78. Right?
They left even before him got dental.
Yeah.
I said
so when me left now, you know, as I said, it's just mainly the corner league, you know, and then at foreign now, when Jamaica play, you will catch some replay on match and all them way there, you know?
Yeah. So Phil, which game remember Messi play had the most impact on you and you said go ahead.
Well, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I'm going to take the same stance as Sadiq. Messi, me never see him play bad. The man, anytime Messi play, when you watch Messi play, your heart full. You get a good game. Because I tell you, as I tell you, one of the things when I used to marvel with him and outfit him is because every game before the game, you say Messi a warm up and the man wet. When I say wet, him wet. And I only a fit man could have called. He remind me a spoon for Marvel. And I tell you, say,
our Carlton Briscoe.
Briscoe, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cause the man, every game the man play, it's like the man that would have make you want to play defense. I don't really love the forward position, but it would have make you want to play defense. Cause the man is just a general and him show it in every game. I
True.
can't really pick out one game. Because I tell you, say, especially Corner League, I say all a Messi game them. Because when Patricia play, you have to do that. That's what you call main attraction. But for sit them on car winner play was a joy.
Hey, I'm glad you someone talk about his fitness, right? Because them tell me say one time, when the juvenile team went away, them single out him and Carlton for test for drugs in a bedroom. Because the man them was so fit. Because if you remember Carlton, you know, Carlton will run you for 90 minutes non-stop. You know. Them two man that was the fittest, but that used to marvel me about Messi up to when he to the man, you know, which was back in March of this year. He was still in immaculate shape, you know.
Yeah.
Right? Because I used to go in them room and see the man all that stand up on him head, upside down. I said, man, where you do? I broke your neck, man. He said, no, I'm have to strengthen him neck, you know. I said, but you don't know some muscle in your neck, man. To strengthen your neck, you know, because when you have go up to all the corner, boy, we lick off your head, you know.
But me ask you something though. I have two questions for asking. Any other knows a basically a business house, a cement company?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cause
man.
me never know that, you know. I'm a brethren from Millbrook, Jim Wright, and me say my Messi play for cement company. And cement company, of course, one whole heap of competition and Messi there, I play for cement company. And from my sorry, back in there, I must have known some other match where Messi would have played for cement company. Because I'm no backend player. Business house football. So I'm sorry. Yeah. You remember some other match when I play business house?
Yeah, man, the roots came out that one.
For cement company, okay.
Yeah, man, get to my job and you know, cause Roots' father was a big manager out there, and yeah, man. So let's play with. I'm gonna watch him at Justice Sierra Park and all them places there. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I never remember that. I just remember my dental and for Jamaica. I remember the match when they play against Corinthians. I played Dr. Socrates. Remember that match?
Yeah.
Is that man remind about the match? A Premier man who come on the podcast. Carlton Daly, another Patosi man. One that know a younger man than we. Remember
Bang.
you know me attack Muller, yeah. You remember that match when they play against Corinthians and them hold them one?
Yeah, man, Sunday evening.
Yeah.
And Dr. Socrates shake him on after the game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know, I remember. I don't know if you remember when Santos played a Brazil under-20 team. Remember with Dunga?
Yeah.
Remember that game? Huh? Yeah. When he came out of that game as the MVP and Dunga shake him on.
Yeah, man.
So you're the question.
Tell me about that game.
You're the question now for the panel, you know. You're the question for you know. If Messi the ban enough, any other country will play a World Cup, big time World Cup team, Messi could have walked on any one of them teams. Is there a team where Messi couldn't play upon a World Cup team in our prime?
I answered that already. I tell you, I think he would have played on any team, any country.
Yeah, that's so good.
I believe that.
That's how good it was. Just for the stroke how you're born, you end up being that is a life that's still, you know. Come and believe that too.
And what Sally say also, you know, if him did go, the program them what them have at England, you know, man. Because I remember, you know, when John Barnes did play with me at George's, you know, and left and go back to England, you know. And when him go back to England, and that program. So if a man like Messi, Pregs, we can call Wooly per name to get on any kind of thing, man. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. And John Barnes never good at them man there, at them area at all. No comparison at all, Tompa. None.
Yeah, of course not.
None at all.
Yeah, of course.
No.
Can I say that John Barnes? Sorry. And sorry to intercede.
Yeah, go ahead, Sally.
In terms of John Barnes a legend at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because when you hear Alan Hansen and Mark Lawrence said the things that John Barnes used to do at Liverpool training, yeah? Remember, him get an injury, and him end up a play centre midfield, when him used to play wide. Yeah?
Yeah.
So John Barnes is a legend, one of the most gifted footballer ever put on an England shirt.
Yeah.
If Messi was to come to England and get the training with, he would even be way even better than what him turned out to be.
That's what I'm saying.
But unfortunately, that's how life come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back. That pity. Money couldn't raise that time for bring him over around them time. Because he was basically at the age where him could have get cars and he would have get pick up,
Yeah.
But
different program.
Yeah, but me ask another question. I'm going to Messi personal life a little bit. Personal in terms that say I never know say Messi had a daughter, and his sister sent me some picture. I never knew Messi was married.
Yeah.
I did not know that at all. That was like,
Yeah.
I really talk about that a little. And Mullah, must have known about that, but I never know that at all. It's when Messi Forbes post a picture about him daughter. That's when I was aware that Messi had a daughter. But talk about that, Ray.
Yeah, well, Messi, I don't know if you know the Dallas family. They used to live over top of Pembroke.
Annandale.
By the field. Annandale used to live,
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think one of the sisters still live there. Still live in Annandale. But he married Fiat.
Part of Annandale, Mullah?
On the right hand side, I'd say about 20 or something like that. That.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Me know.
A kind of cross from Spartacus. Well, you're right.
Yeah. Used to go Excelsior. The Excelsior alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Garfield got married when he was playing for Volvo, and Forbes was the best man, also the godfather to his daughter Sheena, who has 2 children and reside in Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that, Chris. Thank you for that information. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, you live in Orlando, Lance?
Yeah.
Close to you. Close enough to you.
Okay. In Florida, yeah. Okay. I never knew that at all. I didn't know that at all. So, yeah. But, is there any special memory of Messi when I want to bring up where it can be football or non-football related? Because, believe it or not, today I talk for over 2 hours already. And we can keep talking as long as we have something to talk about. But is there anything, I'm going to say, we're around the table now, anything when I want to talk about Messi, we want to have a memory about Messi, not for football related. And you start first, Ray.
There's so many memories, really. There's so many things I could talk about with him and I. We had this relationship where, football wasn't. Him and I never really talked football. We talk life. We talk about life. Most of the conversations him and I had was about what you're doing with yourself and how you're going to deal with life. And the only time I can remember, I remember a conversation him and I had when he was in New York. Right, and I said to him, why are you here? I don't think North America is not for everybody, and because where your status, and you come to I had even mentioned to him, I think you don't need to stay here, because he had because at that time he had told me that he was offered a chance to go to Israel, and I said, why don't you take it? And he said, boy, I'm all right where he is. I still remember the conversation, and looking back at what happened to him right after, it still kind of grieves me, I told him, you don't need to be here, and that's where the slide started.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, it's hard to think about it. It's hard to even talk about it because the things he went through, and I don't know.
No, man, we understand, Ray. Trust me. We understand. As we tell Sally, say we all have a demons to deal with, and everybody deal with it different, It's me I said to you, we all have our own demons to deal with. Whether we like it, yes or no, and everybody deal with it different. And that's how I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to that at all with him because it was too much of an icon for him. No, I'm not going down the South Ray. I tell you, I'm not doing that at all. Alright, no, him sisters them not here, Ray. What do you think him sister them would I want to say about him? Them two sister them. Because I talk to Karen recently when she sent me the pictures them, I'm going to post them this week with somebody. I'm going to send out the clip them for the podcast. She say, when she hears some of the people, some of the girls them come on the podcast and say them couldn't go on a match, and she said, no, that never applied to she and her sister. She'd have go every match. What do you think your sister them would I say?
Oh yeah. I mean, we especially my sisters, they had this reverence for him as because of what he had done, on the field as a football player, But the thing with about, as I said, we've been saying, he stamped his class on the field, but at home it was always silent. Always, he really. So my sisters them were just happy to get out and just to see what he was like on the football field, because he never really conversed. He never had conversations with us when he was at home. He was always missing. But so the only way we could deal with him was when he was on the football, get to see him, and it was a joy for them to be at his games. Cause my old man never missed a 9 dental game.
Yeah, him express himself on the football field more than anywhere else, Ray. That's what he really has said.
Yes, and that's how they remember him.
Yeah,
man.
man.
He was on the field.
Yeah, man. And that's something I remember him too. It's like football was his life, and at the same life come out on the football field. That's something I remember him. That's something I go remember him. That's how I go remember him. That's how I go remember him. And Mullah, you have any special memory where you want to talk about Messi, where we not talk about it at all?
Well, I'm not go too far with that. April 3rd, 2023. When I come for champs as usual. Later in the room and the phone ring, the house phone, and I'm saying, Mr. Gordon, there's a Deon here to see you. So I'm like, Deon? I don't know any Deon. I said, all right, I'll come down anyway. And it was Messi. Because, as I said, every time I'm in Jamaica, he know where to find me. And I told him that I'm not calling him Messi anymore, because the stigma attached to that. Anyway, me and Messi sat for nearly 3 hours. All of my other friends gave us space. And we spoke from childhood days in a brief summation up to the present where he was. And I said, all right, Garfield, I'll see you later. We hugged. And that is how I want to remember him. That smile on his face. Pure love between us. And that was who he was. Just as how he loved the ball, he loved his friends. And that was him. A guy who gave it all when he needed to. So rest in peace, Deon Garfield Messi Wilmot.
And Sally, in the special memory you want to leave, you want to talk about with Messi, but we don't talk about at all.
Difficult, because it's like, as Mula does say, knowing him from way back, and especially the last couple of years, I've been going to Jamaica at least twice a year, and I can always find Mula, him always find me. And I remember even just before Christmas last year, I went down to the field, and he had a bad knee for the last couple of years, so the mobility on the field wasn't that great. And we played against some youngsters, and the guy that lives next door to the house in Permacal, afterward, a young guy full of tricks and skill. So he kind of went past Messi a couple of times and said, Elder. So next time I pick it up, Messi put a tackle upon him. So after we finished play, I said to him, do you know who he was playing against? Him said, no. I said, that's a general, a great Messi, And to tell you all the thing is, I phoned the guy last week, and I say, Messi drop out. And you say, no, the elder, I love the elder there, Yeah, he make an impression, and that's Messi. So, I want to kind of remember him in kind of way, the impact he make on even youngsters and so forth. Yeah? That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And Chris, I don't know if you want to mention a story. I mean, talk about this behind the paint wall where Messi play for Dintil and come home one day, and it's like some man, a Spanish town there, take a check on him. Busman run him off of the bus. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. That can stay behind the paid wall. If you want to talk about it, a special memory, where about you are Messi.
Yeah, well, but, for just to mention that the thing I want you to remember about Garfield is that he wasn't just a talented football player. He was also a gentleman. You know what I mean? He was a humble gentleman. He's the most humble person that I know. Okay? He was humble. And him had, although they were far away, he also was a family man, right? And without going too much into any detail, people must remember him. He was a humble man, and I'm yet to see or meet somebody that did not love Messi. Okay?
Amen.
I share something with you. When we were in Florida, South Florida, the other day, Lance.
Yeah.
I was walking by, and a guy stopped me, and he said to me, "Hey man, who is Spreads?" And I said, "Who is asking?" He said, "Peter Raya." Oh man. And he and I stand up here for about half an hour, just reminiscing, right? And we were able to do a conversation to get a connection. But the central piece of our conversation was about Mets. And how, he was talking about how he just spoke to Garfield like 2 weeks ago and made some connection with Mikey Tuller on his behalf and things of that nature. So I'm yet to meet someone who truly didn't love Messi. All right. Other thing I want to mention about Messi was that he was a very good swimmer. I don't know where he got the skills from, but he was a very good. I consider myself to be an excellent swimmer. But I didn't know Messi had that talent. He was a great swimmer, a good swimmer too. All right, so, while growing up, Messi was, as Ray meant before, is that Garfield was not really a school guy. School was a means to his end, right? What he wants to do, soccer, play football. That's all he wants to do. So Mr. Wilmot, call Mr. Wilmot the diving, right? That's a roots thing, you know what I mean? As soon as Mr. Wilmot drop off Messi, or the Spanish Town, you know, Messi used to stop, go to Spanish Town, get the bus, go to Intel. It's like I was just recently married, and I walked on Patosi Avenue and I said Messi, and Messi face blood up and I cried. I said, warm to your brethren. I said, boy, you want to see the ball for the man. So, get me the bus out of Spanish Town, man. I said, no school, as you know. I went on the bus and the boy just punched me in my face and kicked me off our bus. So, that's an offense. That's a violation. So let's take 2 steps around the road and 5 minutes later the Hornet lift up, you know. Man, I know the green Hornet. Yeah, man. 5 minutes later, because one thing with the Hornet, you know, you can't mess with no one at Premier College.
True that.
Yeah. So the Hornet, man. You have to know about it. You know the Greek. What is the green Hornet?
Only about Pumpercall, you know the green on
The
it.
green Hornet.
You have to say no more about these. If a man don't know
Everybody must know the green on it.
if a man don't know the green on it, Sally, it not come from Pumpercall, so we'll leave it at that.
Exactly. If you don't know the green on it, you don't really come from.
You need a Pumpercall paper, you have to give a check.
Brethren, you know,
For real.
you know the intersection of Patosi Avenue and Pembrokeshire Drive.
Yeah.
Well, when the green on it make the corner there and I lift up in the front of the thing, you know, lift up off of the ground. Because the driver was not joking, you know.
Him take serious what Bujo said. Don't stop at all.
Yeah, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
The rest is history, man. We have to go into more detail behind
Behind the paid wall, Chris. Behind
the paid wall.
Needless to say, Messi never had no problem with no bus driver, but I didn't think again after that. We're going to leave it at that. So, yeah.
No.
Yeah, man. The green on it was...
Yeah, man, the real Godfather.
Tompa, in a special memory, I Messi. I know I never seen him play a whole heap. We play against him. In a special memory, I Messi you want to talk about, what we not talk about.
No, other than, you know, the smile is very, you know, you always see that smile. And interestingly, I showed the pictures that somebody posted on Facebook to my wife. And she said, first thing she said, boy, a good looking boy, man, and him have that smile. I said, yeah, everybody know the Messi smile, you know, and he's very humble, as everybody's saying. But I just want to say this. I'm glad I was on this call today, because to hear Chris, Salamila, and Mulla, how them talk about Messi, their friendship, you know, you can hear the hurt in their voices and stuff, so you kind of get a picture of who the gentleman was, you know, how he lived his life, you know, and stuff. So I'm happy I was on the call. I just remember the Messi smile. Whenever we sit down in a circle as a team, I listen to coach, and as I mentioned, Salamila bring me on for him team. I remember sitting down with them one time, and he just, you know, sitting right beside Messi actually, and him just quiet, and then we just take him knee and just lick me on my knee, and then we there, you know, just a nice youth, you know. Never saw much of him in I'm senior and I'm prime. Never saw much of him.
Yeah, he had a what I call a disarming smile, Tompa. Very disarming.
Yeah, man.
He could disarm a whole crowd and everything. I could have said that. And Phil, any special memory of Messi where you want to talk about but we never talk about at all?
Well, my memory still is a synopsis of him, you know, in the sense that it was always a joy for watching play. And another thing we never mention is to see more time on him bicycle ride go to the match. Because, as I said, the man did fit. And even just riding, going up to the field for a player. And you look on the man wet already. I say, shit. Them man I take the thing serious. Cause I remember say back in them time that enough man used to exercise, and especially Red Hills was a favorite place where everybody run go. And you said to yourself, say, boy, look at this man must do that like 2 or 3 times a day. Cause the man
Without a
was,
doubt was true.
yeah man, because the man was extremely fit, brother man. I can't see where that thought that come from. But thing they say him and Carlton are the only 2 man of them check for drugs. Because you not expect to see a man like so fit to the point where it's like the man them coming like a fountain, like a spring. A drench with sweat, brother man, and the game don't even start yet. Cause I tell you, say just warming up alone. When you look for Messi, him wet. Yeah, man, them are my memories, brother man. And as I say, him whole demeanor upon the field and on play him game. And then the man was a prowess in the ear too. Because I can see in that part that where Chris has said, boy, him always stand up on him head. Because him remind me of Mark Eatley from the English League back in the day. The man, the lethal with him head them way there. Because anytime I can't come across and them desperately need a winner, you can be assured that him going to be in the 18 and lay weight it. Yeah, man, that I'm missing a synopsis.
Yeah.
Great player. And as the man, them so very humble.
Yeah, man, the humility was.
Yeah, man, and that is a must in our life, we need that.
Yeah, man.
Not far away.
Without a doubt, man, a pure great him was a footballer for Jamaica. Premier was in blood through and through, man. Him never.
I think that also speaks to why you see him never really to run down the field, because as we said, the man just a play football out of the love of him heart. You find no big house on the hill or nothing. I'm quite contented with being in Pembrokeshire, and being around him too, friend them.
Yeah.
Lance, what about you? What's your memory?
Messi? Good question, Mullah. Good question. I remember I played some football on the triangle with Messi, but my most vivid memory of Messi, when Messi I played for Dintel or for Al Manning, and I remember the tackle when him left the middle. We got to lift up Blakey, because Blakey a big time ball at the time. Yeah. And as I say now, Messi a little older than me, about a year older than me, but Messi was an inspiration for me. When I say a Premier Card man, I put Premier Card on the map in the way where him a play and represent Premier Card at stadium, and later play for Jamaica and all of me. Them look up to him and I say, right. Because me and him got Premier Card primary together, and was a year ahead of me.
Yeah.
You see me I said to you, so I remember him good, and it was like, me always proud to know, say, a Premier Card man, they end up so good. And like him brother and like you, me just sorry say, him never born at a different time, a different era where he would have make, he would have do for Premier Card with baby Garner for above you.
Yeah.
You see me I said to you, that time I remember me, I messing me, I say, right. And as on the right to say all about, him humility was something else, man. You see me I said to him, always just humble. He was always approachable.
Yes.
You see, it's not like, some man turn big ball and you can't chat to them or you can't decide that. That was never Messi.
Yeah.
It's a people person.
Yeah, man. It was never Messi at all, man. I just say, no, you talk about the match where he lead Pato. He never left out in Pato, say.
No.
He never, despite the select come capture him and pay him transfer fee for come play for Leeds and all.
Jelly, be careful.
But transfer fee.
But Thumper say me take a Blakey. I want to know how come he can take all these ballers, I want to know, I'm not
Sorry, you have to come back and come talk about your skill, because trust me, when you talk about it, that's the tip of the iceberg, when you organize on them things, I tell you, man.
So when them big up 1 year Briscoe versus Messi, then the next year Briscoe Messi versus Blakey.
Yeah.
He just laughing, because the one of them that leads,
Come from your stable, yeah.
All right. The juvenile team, the same juvenile team of Baptist talk about. Yeah. There was Big Ed and that. There was Big Ed, Bangy, Messi, Carlton. I can't remember. There's 5 guys that passed through were played for me. I said to myself, say, yeah, if them to galvanize that juvenile team and keep it going, yeah, them could have really reached much further, but it never really
Well,
happened, you know.
me ask you something, Sally. Me ask you something. And as you
Yeah.
say now,
Yeah.
where you leave Jamaica and migrate to England?
79.
Oh, well, you see, it just leave all the time when. Because I think, and I say, and this is a serious question to you, it's like, you think if you just stay, you end up big in the administrative part of Jamaican football where you'd have
Definitely.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Definitely.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
I don't doubt that either. I don't doubt that either.
And it's not only that alone, because it's like, I'm like, you know, you fear mind and the talent, you're like a recruit, you know, it's like you spot talent and you're a coach at the same time, you know. You have the two things at the same time. Yeah.
Lance, remember me always telling us say me am no big baller. Me play alright, but me is no big name baller. But Sally call me and Sally take me on the Leeds team. I'm gonna play a few games for him before me leave in the I think it was a Bob West tournament with Jumbo and Dean and a whole massive Peter Allen backhead. Yeah. You know? Yeah. A lot of people forget Peter Allen, you know, but Peter Allen was a wicked baller.
The good man. Peter Allen, the good man, yeah.
Yeah, good winger, man.
Good man.
Yeah. But I want to say this to not Sally. I mean, I say this tongue in cheek. You know, you remind me, but I think it's a little bit because you're a twin one, you know. Nottingham Forest had a manager in the 70s, you know. And the whole time, man, I know me attacking, you know, Brian Clough. Yeah. Right? But here was Sally have over Brian Clough now. Brian Clough needed a man of good recruiting for him, you know. What a program for him with him. I forget what recruiter did name. Brian Clough never worked with without him recruiter, you know. Sally Miller never need a recruiter.
Yeah.
Sally was the recruiter. Sally was the recruiter and the coach at the same time. He was the recruiter and the coach at the same time. And Sally, but forget... Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say that when, you know, I heard Preggs mention that I never really deal with the local talent. Preggs wasn't around in Permacar when I was around in Permacar. Preggs did that veer and then him go abroad. Yeah? So when him claimed, when the youth him talk about Robert and Speedy brother, Tuffy is a Leeds youth, you know. It's when me gone, even more of them, and read them, you know. The Barry Cummings and the Lee Cummings and Foreigner and the old from my state. But when you leave and leave mash up, them all flirt all over the place. Half of them got to us too. Yeah?
Yeah, true.
No, but Sally, you left very early, man. Because what year she was when you leave and go? 79. Yeah, early 20s, if you reach 20 yet.
Never reach, yeah, just 19 plus.
Right. And before you pull off, you're still a teenager. I'm not sure at it. And by the way, Sally, where you get the name from? Sally Miller. Because I always wonder, you know, where you get
Preggs, you know. Preggs, you know, we play cricket at Calabar. And we drop a catch. And we used to watch, we used to, you know, the Tiger something, them and the Billy Boots and that.
Yeah, Tiger Carter.
We used to read all the magazine and things. So, here Preggs, you know, but he dropped the catch like a salad. And somewhere along the line, the salad reached to Sally. It was a female book. And we used to read the whole of them. So that's how it ended up. And obviously, Mr. Miller was my stepfather. They were shopping down Carwina. Them just joined the Miller with the Sally and that's what it became.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, Keith, you remember a youth named Bruce Martin?
Bruce Martin?
Yeah, used to live around your side of the world. No, we used to be in scouts together.
Martin, yeah, the name, yeah, Bruce, Bruce lived nearby Vin, yeah.
Yeah, wherever I'm trained, man.
Live nearby Briscoe, you know. Bruce used to live nearby Briscoe, them.
Yeah, I always
remember my Bruce. Eh?
Oh, man, I always wonder one them, man, you know.
What?
I haven't seen him for years. Yeah, he lived around Briscoe, them lived on the bottom of the last house on Petterton, and Bruce Martin lived almost in front there. So yeah, I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the question that that Lance the comment that Lance made. Like, so you take a guy like Roots, who is passionate about the game and people, right? Became a FIFA referee, right? There is no doubt in my mind that you would have been at the forefront of soccer down there, football down there, right? No doubt in my mind. But more importantly,
Well, if
I feel like you would have added I think you would have added a better outlook towards the game and how it is organized down there. I think you would have focused a lot more on early development
Yeah.
before you even get called to the national arena. You know what I'm saying? I believe that.
Yeah,
well, if I can,
Yeah.
just add to that, if I can just add to that, Chris, I look at Sally as, I mean, Pembroke had just lost Bobby Fire, and Sally Miller was the perfect fit.
yeah.
Sally Miller was a perfect Pembroke football. We just lose Bobby Fire, and he stepped in, and it was sad to see him leave, but after such a short period of time.
I would,
Right,
without a doubt in a way, that is so a profound statement they're making, and was so young. Can you imagine Sally around the program
Right.
from a 19, and
Right.
and yeah, it
Because I remember playing for Sally in the league.
yeah.
And we are
I
same
was a
age,
coach. I was a coach with Danville and Ray at minor league at you know
right.
when they play minor league the first year. I was a coach.
And
Second year, Messi play.
And you and him at the same age.
Done 2 years of minor league. You know, the Bob West reached the semi-final. I played that year Messi didn't play for me. He played for Eagle Eye. And you probably don't know aside from over Patrick City.
Ainsley Nathan farm that side.
Patrick City.
Ainsley Nathan, Roots Cousins farm that side.
Yeah. Messi went to play for them, right?
Yeah.
We played Blakey them, run and a one name, and we beat them 1-0. Play them again, them come back, and we play them outside the stadium in the morning. A semi-final. Blakey, Paul, the whole of Jonestown man them. A badness them use, I win the game there. Because Garnet was in goal, we have to take out Garnet and
Which team?
put Perker in because them
Which team
threatened
they say?
half of the man them. That's how Blakey them eventually come a Permacar because them know say we would have beat them. We beat them already and would have beat them again. Them use badness to win the game there. And all of them come Permacar after that.
No, are we? I mean, I mean, Adir bring him come a Premier Call, Sally. Which team at Jonestown it was? The Hampton? Was it the Hampton side?
They have two names. Them entered Bob West as a I can't remember the name them use or beat them Almontown or one of them name. We beat them and then them, somewhere along the line them turn back in the semi-final as Bunstone.
Right. That's right.
And we beat them with 2-1 the day and it's badness and music and after that Blake and all them come in and was that Permacar regularly after that, you know?
But Blake didn't play for Asphalt. He didn't play for Asphalt first. The youth Asphalt.
Okay, I never know that.
Yeah, because in Carmi got Jonestown go play. That side down the name Hampton. You know? Yeah.
But go ahead, Sally. Sorry.
Let me just share one more story about even I share the thing about Messi going to Excelsior Manning Cup training and not Jackie Bell, Jeffrey Maxwell. But they never pick him. First year when Blakey come and play for Leeds, Blakey was playing. Blakey playing major league for and he got camper down training, and Jackie Walters never pick him. And I said to Blakey, listen, I have all the talent in the world. Go back out next year and see what happens. The next year Blakey go out and play. He mash up the stadium. Play the same year and play All Manning and play Juvenile and then play with Messi. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, two questions I have for you, Sally, before me ask a fun question and then me go around the table and ask some closing remark. Sally, You think if you see a Jamaica, I could have navigate the politics of the 1980 election? And that's the first question. And next question is, how come you never make a name for yourself for England? How come you not coach a Division 1 team or a Premier League team?
See, yeah, you see, all right, go back to the first question. You said the 76, remember, I said the two wickedest election in Jamaica, 76 and 18.
Yeah.
All right, you said 76, party there, round Thumper them road, yeah? And me and my girl now leave from the drive and go through the track and come out on road.
Permacar Drive.
Yeah, drive up. Come on, I come from Permacar Drive, so I'm going through Aqualita, yeah?
Yeah, I know the road
yeah? So I'm come on Aqualita, come out of the track there, so I can't drive up. And man jump out with some big gun, you know. And my girl now take fright and I'll try to run go up the road. Me hear the one guy say, "Hey girl, where you run go? A woman like to make a man dead, you know." So the driver said to me, you know, what may I deal with? So I said to myself, I don't know if these people are GLP or PMP, you know. So I have to be careful what I say. I never even know what to say, to be honest. You know what saved me? Next man say, you know what, allow him deal with ball. All the youth them run him all the time. And that saved me. Yeah, and even then the guy that want gun butt use a gun and lick the woman in. And the last thing the man said to me when he drive off, he said, "Make sure next time you know where you deal with." And the man drive off. So that particular night, we could have did over the politics, you know, cause them time they serious, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
But then you know, the next question we said, what was the next question?
How come you're there in England and you're not coaching a Premier League team? I gotta ask it straight up.
You see, the thing with England now, right? You have to go through and get your badges and do all kind of different things, right? I came over to study, and basically, I just start a team within 6 months, and the team's still going. And I never really did bother for really that. I do probably 2 coaching courses, and I just leave it at that. I just go on, I go on basically just do my work, deal with the football. So I have 3 different teams I run for 1 week, you know. I just involved in football right through. So I have a younger son where I end up I play at Villa and play at Derby and play Blues and play all over the place. The talent never have the application like Messi them have. Because talent alone is not enough.
No.
Going back to the thing, if I really want to push it, I could do it. But I'm happy for just have my own thing and just deal with the local people them and thing. And
you never
I never really run down the limelight.
Yeah, you never had motivated that you were in a Permacar. That's how it looked like to me. The Permacar is like you don't want to take Permacar to our next level, but opportunity and the politics just.
I would feel like I would want to take Permacar to the level of Harborview and them take it to right. You know, so I tell you the night before I left, you know, after the football and tell me don't take the plane, you know. They never want me to leave, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I had to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's life.
Yeah, man, alive. When the opportunity come.
The last thing I'm gonna do, right? My plan for go to Jamaica the next 2 years. Go spend most of the time out there. Cause I reach a stage now where the cold, I can't take the cold too tough, right? And really want to spend most of the winter them out there. So I have some little plans. One of the things I do, I want to get some youngsters and under 12, under 11s and so forth. And I'm going to run a competition and call it the Deon Wilmot. That's the one thing I'm going to do for him and make sure so that run. Because here what the next thing is, I don't want to go over the thing, but Messi and a lot of the youth them come from Permacar and Mulan, Rian, any and everybody else, and even any younger brother, the Permacar was academy, you know. So all them start academy. Permacar was academy of footballing. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
And see that there's nothing going on there now. it's so
It
disgusting and
hurt.
so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like it before the last thing I do before my time up is to try start back something there. I may have some plans.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't always come back, Sally. As a matter of fact, you have to come back and we discuss them plans because we have been meeting every
Definitely
Sunday.
have some plans.
Yeah, man. We have been meeting every Sunday. A little group of us, including Chris and Thumper and Annie and Andre and Jackie. And to just do something for Pembroke, not exclusive of football, but football is an integral part of it. Because, and for the last couple of weeks, my fault more than anybody else. We have some little technical issues. And this is my first podcast back up for about a month or 6 weeks. And it is almost fitting that we're on the greatest football ever come out of Pembroke. I mean, I say that without any apology at all. Because nobody couldn't take that. So, I look forward for you come back. Come give full story from detail and talk about your plans. And you will hear more about what we have planned for you because we have planned to have even a live show. Not even. We're planning to have a live show. We're going to launch and talk about certain things. We're going to start certain things at the primary school. Because it's along the same lines where you talk about Sally, what you want to do too. And
yeah, but if I just give Mula will probably know Ray, yeah. What people need to understand is the school used to be always anti-community. And they never really want to community football player.
And the school side, which school you talking about? The primary school or the high school?
Not the primary school. The primary school not on the field.
The high school, Jelly. We must say the school is not
pro-community.
Cooperative in terms of football.
Never was in. They were never community kind of like
oriented.
You get that impression that
oriented. They never wanted any football down there. It's only because people for the side now said they want the field and ban the field and basically the goalposts and then things go down there and thing, right? But you know, when they're not, you see, just focusing on the school and the schools them is a good idea, but it needs more than that. It much more than that to get the vibes going and so forth, right?
Yeah.
I have ideas how to try and start back certain things, yeah.
No, man.
We'll talk another time.
No, man.
This is about Messi.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm open to the idea, Sally. I'm open to the idea. You're right, definitely. Because any idea I want to listen to and hear, because I don't know how to work. And yeah, go ahead, Phil.
The more ideas on the table is a better decision we can make.
Yeah, man, definitely. But before me ask you the closing remark about Messi from Orlando, I have to ask a fun question, yeah. And Phil forced me to ask a question, and I asked it earlier. Could the Jamaica national team beat the female Spain World Cup winning team?
The women's world champion.
Yeah. And you take that one the first way. More hear your answer.
No,
We want that.
you know, the one thing I noticed with football today, and because it's now a money sport, players don't take the game as seriously as we did back in the 60s, 70s, and even in the 80s. Because you look at football players, I mean, the first thing you learn when they play football is how to control the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Half of them youth that want to play now don't know how to control the ball.
Right.
No control.
100.
And the
Control and
fundamental
distribution.
lacking.
Them don't know how to dribble. Them don't know how to dribble. For them, it's just speed. Just run. But you have to know how to control the ball. You have to know how to make a pass. You have to know how to dribble.
Controlling and passing. Fundamental.
So, I totally agree. The national side where I see playing now couldn't beat Spain. Couldn't beat a female Spanish team. Wouldn't have a chance against that Spanish team.
Okay, Ray, Phil, we're going to make Sally arrange up the match as a big time organizer. Thumper!
Yeah, but Jelly, listen, Ray know where I talk, but trust me, them couldn't beat me. Know what me see go on this.
Hold on, Phil, hold on. Hear the rest of the panel, Phil. Me know your opinion.
Yeah, because I said, because I back up Ray.
Thumper, your verdict.
Yeah. Well, I don't like any of the Jamaican teams since '98 side, right? Never did. Them as you know, and I think that's what Ray was saying when he said a lot of them can't control the ball. You know, I don't even like Raheem Sterling as a baller. I don't like him as a baller because he must score a lot more goals if him have better control, right? That great control that Colombian young lady did and score against our Jamaica female side. Those are basics. Some of those are basic things as a player.
Fundamental, man.
Come to the Jamaican men. I actually believe that the Jamaica side, the players we have, will probably beat them, but would not play a better brand of football. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We have enough single talent. And if you look at Antonio, a lot of Antonio's goals were him score for Jamaica. A one-man goal that,
You man, some brute force thing. Yeah.
Yeah, a dribble from half line and a score.
Relax yourself, Phil.
No passing. I don't see any midfielder from Jamaica side that me can respect. And the defense, you have some or come up defenders, but fine. I think because of their speed and their individual talent, they probably could beat them, right?
All right. That's that.
We shouldn't even have the discussion. There shouldn't even be a discussion.
We on top of here.
That must show the current state of Jamaica football at the national level.
All right, Mullah, your take pan a match up there.
Well, as was Tompa said, I agree with that. You see, that's the sheer strength and speed. The Jamaica side would have edged them one love. But to the brilliance and the class of ball.
They won't outclass them at all, Mullah.
Yeah, the Spanish team would have outclassed them because they might play a better brand of ball.
Yeah.
Is it the coach? I don't know. But it'll be a very close game and have a national Jamaica side play a national female side of from any country. And the talk of will be brought forth to the table show you how much we're lacking. We're lacking.
In development.
Our rank Jamaica is in a FIFA. That's for the record. Anybody know? Let me check quickly.
They've just gone back up to 50-something, I think.
Oh, okay. So when I said that enough,
53 to 47.
What did really I said that enough? A 50th ranked men's team have a struggle against the number 1 ranked woman team. 2-2 so far. But all right, I'm not even too good to it. Like when I say maybe. So all right, Chris, let me hear what I say before me hear what Sally say. Chris, your take on that.
All right. So typically I don't comment about football because I consider myself a student of the game, and I don't like the game today. Like, I don't watch the MLS no more, and when I see the Jamaican team, I'm very embarrassed. Right? Here's my take on it. One is the matchup would never happen for obvious reasons.
Why? I mean, hold on, Chris. What obvious about it?
Well, you'll never have a woman team playing against a male team. Right? That's not going to happen in football. At least not in my lifetime.
But why? Why you think so, Chris? Hold on, let me challenge you. Why you think so?
Because we live in a chauvinistic world. A world in which men are dominant. It still is. And that, our egos would not allow us to do that. All right? The other point I want to make is that their brand of soccer is a lot better than what I see the Jamaican team doing. So that would be problematic for them if a matchup, a game was to be organized between both teams. The Jamaican team would have serious issues because the French people. I'm telling you right now, when I watch the World Cup, I watch every game, every single game. I got up early and I watched all the games.
And I thought with Women's World Cup, Chris.
The Women's World Cup, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And the type of ball I see playing, man, the men are not playing that, especially in our region of the world, right? Where you have people if you touch them falling on the ground and complaining, right? Just the brand alone, I would say, would be problematic for a Jamaican team.
I hear you. So, Sally,
Yeah.
you want a job if you organize a match, eh? You can make some money. Me take my cut, you know. Give me a cut. That's 5% me want.
Right now, the Spanish organization in a turmoil because
Yeah.
you know they
Yeah.
That kiss.
Hey, by the way,
court and all them things there. So that now got
Hold on, Miras. Hold on. Go ahead, Chris, before that. Finish up, Chris. Yeah.
Can you give us just give us a perspective on that, because I really don't understand what's going on with that.
I mean, Sally, you want to get a perspective on the kiss up bet?
Kiss of money.
Kiss up money.
Yeah, I feel it's been blown out of proportion by the feminists, yeah, and I feel like the organization, the president, he basically went a little bit beyond what I'm supposed to do. But I feel like he just overreact and just kiss her. Him shouldn't do. But after that, she took it and everything was all right. But people then push the agenda and push to reach where it is now. So there's going to be implications all around for a lot of people based on the fact that other people get involved and pushing their own agenda.
Before we comment on that, Sally, so what do you think would I win the match?
From a coaching perspective, yeah, it's hard for a woman to compete with a man. But basically, the strength, physical strength. Can you imagine Messi making a tackle on two of them girls? Fit Messi. No, let us break it down. We're talking about Messi now. A fit Messi playing centre against centre forward for Spain.
Yeah.
Pick up a ball now, bring it down nice and everything, and it goes a bomb. What would happen? Come on.
No. Next place you don't move.
But there is Sally.
Technically, what I'm saying in terms of the physical aspects of the game, the corners, the 50-50s and all them kind of things. Jamaican football is terrible at the moment. But I love how Spain men and female team, because I love touch football, and my team then play from the back. Today we play 3-touch. Yeah. So basically I think that it would be difficult for Spain to beat that Jamaican team based on the fact that they're not physical. The more technical, the physicality and all them things there, I don't think they'll be able to cope over 90 minutes against men.
I'm going to give you my comment on it, Sally, before I comment on the issue of Chris asked about. May I agree with you? Physically, and even though Phil said to me, Jelly is a team sport, I remember when Venus Williams challenged, I think it was a 200 ranked tennis player, and the man blew her off of the court. The two sisters them in them prime, at over 200 ranked player, blew her off of the court. Yes, an individual sport.
Yeah, but Jenny, that is an individual sport.
No, I understand.
But she mentioned that the other day. Look, she mentioned that physically they can't match a man.
Yeah, so why you think that as a team sport them could have matched a man in a football field? I mean, me don't know enough. I don't know at all because football is right field. It out to the do it.
It's not about physicality, you know. It's about understanding of the game and the ability to play it and play it effectively.
Yeah,
and
but
Jamaica don't have that.
This is why.
You see the triangle ball where they did play, especially in the finals and semi-finals. When you ever see Jamaica play football like that, a Barcelona alone must play like that.
Hold
on, mirror Tompa say. Go ahead, Tompa.
There are a lot of teams in professional football that you watch that play the counter, right? Because they have the speed and so on, and they know to bring up the ball on the counter. The speed that Gray, Bailey, and some of them have, I can see them scoring a goal against that team. And
yes, sir.
more. Because
definitely
because of the individual.
Yes, I would them have right, Tompa, right.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd rather watch the Spain team 10 times than I watch the Jamaica side.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't think they will be able to beat the
The
Jamaican.
matchup, I agree with you, Sally. Yeah, go ahead, Mullah.
That's
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying. I don't think they'll be able to beat the Jamaica side.
No, that's my view to
What's the
Mullah.
segue?
That's my view to
What's the
Tonka.
segue a bit? You guys saw the
All right,
Germany.
Pierre got organized.
Hold on, Phil. Maybe heard Mullah say.
Saw the Japan game against Germany.
Yes.
I put it paper to paper.
Yeah.
You gotta say Germany try and run them off, but Japan have the speed.
That's right.
And Japan know how to use their speed.
That's right.
And that is what counteract the skill level.
Then remember,
That's why I said that the women they couldn't beat Jamaica.
How much
Yeah.
the Spain side lose to Japan in the women?
Yeah.
Pure love?
That was 6 love.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
so-
it's
The woman them they couldn't beat Jamaica, man. They couldn't. But we're not that bad.
No. But I know,
No.
I know we are one Mullah. Me I say, even a 100 ranked football team in the world,
Yeah.
a man team, it's like, just to have the conversation, I know how far women's football has come. That's why I bring it up, you know. I don't think women's football has come a tremendous way, man. A far way.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Me prefer another this World Cup alone for the last 2 or 3 World Cup. Me find the Women's World Cup far more entertaining than the men's one.
Yeah.
Far more entertaining. To answer the question now where I asked Chris about the kiss of money, as Sally said. When that incident happened, you know, and me see it and me say, first thing I say, well, the man kiss up the people. That's the first thing I ask to myself, you know. And I'm here the uproar come the next year. I say, a 2 way this ever go, you know. And you're right, Sally. The repercussions now going to go for women's football. That's my first take, because eventually what will happen, it's almost like you have a separation between women's and men's football. The man now go want, it's like a man now go introduce. You remember Mike Pence have a rule, you know. He must say him don't talk to no woman since Me Too. Him don't meet no woman without him wife in the room.
Yeah.
You follow me? I said to you, Mullah, we as men now are going to decide say, no care what. Because woman can decide say, she can't say no the next morning and win a problem.
Much problem.
You hear me? I said to you, so we as men now have to look and say, do you want to meet with a woman privately? Are you going to do business with a woman? And the answer is, it's not good. It's not going good.
Yeah, but I think there's more to it though, you know. Remember, you know, this team of play in the World Cup is what, 4 players from the original team playing now. 4 or 5. There was always something going on between the federation and the players.
Yes.
And it turns out to be one of the woman him kiss is one of them that they said I'm not going to play.
Yeah, man, you see a video with the coach that touch
you. So they don't like him. They don't like him.
Yeah, but that's right. But that's
you see, so you have all of that. You don't need a man for coach a female team neither.
Well, that's but Tompa that me saying it's like a workout where women have to stick to them thing and man have to stick. That's what I'm saying. It's not good enough. I just don't
remember.
Yeah, go ahead, Mullah.
I don't think it's going to affect the football overall.
Yeah, it's a me too of the
Yeah.
world.
And the next week I look on it too, in my own, not my own, but it's like me look on and I say, boy, this my thing say, in buying certain people, dogma, where say, boy, if you have money, you can grab them by the pee. And them allow you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But some man think say, and some man actually allow it. That's the problem, you know. I not talk. Some man, if you have money, it's okay for them, you can't be able to certain way around them. Me personally, I'm going to do that. But when the man just say that, he never say, him just say, if you have money, woman allow you to do that. It's complex. That's all I can say. I not take my side.
But remember after Jamaica got rid of the dude that carried Hugh, that carried on the first World Cup team, they had this guy where all of a sudden from Canada was supposed to coach the Jamaica team, the girls team, the women's team. And Latte might not remember, but he only lasted a few months because they found out that when he was in Canada and was with this women's team, he used to get favors from one or two of the girls who wanted to play in the US, and he always insisted that he travel with them. And that you know, so that guy, when name Bugsy or something like that.
Yeah, man, we know we are. Busby.
You know that he claimed that he used to play. He learned this game in Premier called Connolly. I was a goalkeeper, you know. But when him said the years now, Lance I said, but I was still in Jamaica playing Connolly, so who is he? You know who he was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember the Comrades them where used to play come from over Olympic Garden?
Yeah, man. O'Neal
And you
come.
come and them
O'Neal,
music.
O'Neal and them.
It was
O'Neal
them.
Comrie and Dana. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Dana you.
And them nephew, some used to come watch the ball. But they used to play the ball.
What about going
And
like
that was
to
part
play?
of his status level, you know.
Eh?
That was part of his status level to try and get the game, the coach.
To say him come from him play ball at Purple Call, and because we original man now, you know it's a fake news thing.
Yeah, it was shaky. Very shaky.
Because we know.
Wow.
We know man play Purple Call from the band and Mulla. I said, oh, you don't know him. Oh, you play
You
Purple
don't know him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But not to get, but the Federation had to get rid of him because it was just an incident away from a lawsuit.
But if you say I bring up,
Mulla, apparently him still about, you know.
Yeah, one coach.
Still involved with the team, you know. Him still involved with the team from the outskirts.
Oh, really?
Or like a consultant.
But think about what I'm saying. Is it possible? It's a bigger question than asking, and Tompa bring it up earlier now. Is it possible for a man train a woman team and some man, me not talk about we on the panel, and some man just can't resist the temptation? And some woman...
Most men, Jelly, most men.
And worse, it's not like a man thing alone, and the woman them I go test it too. It's not like say it's a man thing alone.
It's like being a gynecologist. Anytime you get immune to that, you're gone from the other side of the face.
Yeah, I'm going to clip that one there.
Eddie, you know what I would agree. You know, black and white.
Oh, yeah, man. Yes, no, listen, if you're a man, you're a man. You see what I say?
No, but the bigger issue is, you know. You're going, Chris, sorry.
No, any just go straight to the top.
Yeah, but we have to keep it real. Like one thing, up to what last weekend, me I tell a sister that say, you don't know me cut and dry. Me now go around the corner, me now dress up my Christmas tree. Me I keep it 100.
You sound like you go out of Trump's table, you know. Watch yourself, you know. Watch yourself.
No, man, nobody mix me up with your people, them. Because you don't know, so we don't work them way there. That's for you. You and Tompa. Andrew, come join in the show.
Gentlemen, it's about difficult to go forward because the dynamic between man and woman, I just can't see it possible where a man coach a woman team and it now run out them repercussions. It's about difficult. That's all it now get me too. And where you draw the line, you just have to not say, and then you just have to go make woman do it woman sport, and if they want accuse woman, they are making after them, that a film business, and man deal with man sport, and you know a man are gonna deal with that in a certain, if a man deal with a certain way, a war that on the football field and a training room.
Yeah.
Unless the man gone there.
Exactly, and that's separate, man.
So what if a man tell a coach him can't slap up him ass because them football player they love when the coach him and slap him on them.
Yeah, but that because them unbalanced. You see what I say? So them try to find out how unbalanced them is.
You must test the water spill.
Right, they're jelly, them unbalanced, so they want to know how badly unbalanced they are.
Hey,
Which side them are going to tilt over to?
but Tompa, you must remember when the brother write the book Undercover Lovers, you know, the Undercover Brothers, it caused a lot of furor, you know, because a lot of them really loved it.
Yeah, man.
But they couldn't come out and say it.
Which book that, Mulla?
Yeah.
Undercover Brothers.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to say it at all, right? You must hold it. And then I used to behind the closet, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Hey, Jelly, don't forget what...
It will stop once one of them come out and say, nah,
Yeah.
don't touch her.
Of course.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. Before me ask it, but go on the table and ask.
Me just say, remember when time Bo first come a yard after him there up here, Bo, I tell about for watch Super Bowl, and we I say, yo, remember we tell him, when I watch a man jump on the top and a man grab up man and then feel there.
Hey, but
So anyhow, you have that sport there, yeah, you know, anything
real.
possible.
remember you first when I understand the game, you know. Because remember, I see him to say, you know. I really make me know the beauty, like the running back and them man there. Them man there was, them could be soccer players. You know?
Yeah.
Turn
Yeah, I
on a
think
guy.
so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are 20 odd years, Mullah. I still not try to understand the game. I watch it, but I still not try to understand it at all.
I'm gonna have to explain it.
Yeah, man.
Explain it to me, you know?
Well in night and Tomba, big time
Well,
football
I
today.
understand it, but it's more a situation of, and a choice, because I them promote that. Why you think football can't grow? Yeah, so you really think them people are going to make football supersede for them sport? You're mad.
No.
America, this, no other country not patriotic like this. I can tell you that. Jamaica don't go patriotic when Bolt win or Bob Marley or some famous person, but them people are patriotic 24/7.
Yeah, man. Anyway, gentlemen, we're there for overthrowers, believe it or not. And we're going to go around the table. Last closing remark from everybody before we close out the program. Yeah. And I'm going to start with you first, Ray. Any closing remark before we close out the program? Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that, it was a pleasure, being here today, and this is, as we always say, this is closure and the life of one of Pembroke's greatest football player. We see how it blossomed, how it bloomed, and took off, and it's good that we can, reminisce and have great memories of this of Deon Wilmot.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And Mullah, any closing remark before I close out the program? Yeah.
I just want to say thanks for getting the opportunity to be with, my friends, and hopefully, this podcast is growing and people will remember Deon Messi Wilmot of who he was and not what they hear on the streets. And I want to thank you, Lance, for the opportunity and for the work that you've been putting in. You, Tompa, Henny,
Andre.
and Taylor Danville.
Yeah, I'm not there, but yeah, big him upset with. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to say thanks for that. And remember the man positive, because he will be smiling no matter where he was, no matter what going on. He just have a pleasant look on his face. So thanks again. Sleep in peace, my brother.
Yeah, man. I'm going to hear this wherever I'm there, Mullah. Wherever I'm there, I'm going to hear this. Wherever I'm there, I'm going to hear this.
Yeah.
And for you, I hope you realize, me not bowling a fast bowling. You can come back anytime. Come give your Pembroke memory, because we need to hear it. Because
yeah, thanks a lot for that.
You realize it easy. You know, it hesitant to come before, but after today now, you realize it true. And I know now just a conversation, and it can.
Just the vibes on the car. Yeah,
man. Easier. It's gonna make it easier.
Yeah, man. And when you hear it, and your sister them hear it, and I say, yeah, man, them can come join the conversation because I'm gonna start.
Yeah, man.
I put out some of them clip here from today. I put out some of the clip them, and by Saturday, the whole of this will come out. I never cut it in a two. But I send out some clips. Can I get some picture from him sister, from Karen. So I put some picture with all of the clip them and send it out in the week, yeah. Maybe two clip a day, because I just want to big him up, man. I have to big him up a certain way. And
yeah, man.
And you, Chris, any closing remark before we close out the program, yeah? You might hear me in the mute. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Lance. Thank you guys for putting on this podcast for us to remember a great soccer player from among us, right? But more importantly, I want us to remember him not just as a great soccer player, but as a humble, decent guy, friendly guy, a guy who had no enemies, right? A man that loved the game that he played, was good at it, but more importantly, he was also a family man, right? A man who has passed on and left a beautiful daughter with some fantastic grandchildren, right? He was special to me. He is special to me, and he will remain very special to me, right? there's always going to be a place in my heart for Garfield. I kind of fault myself for not doing more to deal with a situation. All right. But that was all ordained. It was in God's plan. All right. And
True, true.
so I say thank you and rest in peace, my brother.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you, Sally, any closing remark before I close out the program, yeah?
In terms of looking back, the memories, with Messi has been very special for me, and it hit me last week Thursday when I got the message, and basically looking back now, I can smile on a couple of things and a couple of the discussions. I turn on my Jamaican phone every now and then, because people still, WhatsApp me and them things. And funny enough, I looked at the call logs. Messi called me when I was at the airport, coming back to England in July. And he phoned me quite a few. I sent credit for him when he was out there, he was sick, he was in hospital. And looking back, all I can say is it'll be a big miss, because whenever I'm in Jamaica, he's always around me. And I had some plans to involve him in some of the things I wanted to do. So it's very sad. But you know what? Just look on it as a celebration. And I will always remember, it will always have a soft spot in my heart. Last time I went here, when I was there up to, it was in hospital the last time. December, went down, he came up by me, he spent a couple of days up by the house. We walked down to Betty down Snapes. And, Bowley was there, not Bowley, Paula and Courtney Facey, kill everybody. And Roots was there. And a little argument go on, but Messi turned on and Roots said, it's only me, Messi can still fool. But anyway, Messi said, Sally Miller and Leeds, they were always a family environment, yeah? And I have to remember Messi with that smile, as everybody said, came up that little smile and that little thing where I won't forget that. So I can't say no more than that.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Sally. And
Yeah,
Tompa,
man.
any closing remark before I close out the program, yeah?
Yeah. To Ray and family, Ray, my condolences, my brother. All right. Just want to make you hear that from me and my family, to you and your family. All right. Chris, boy, I must feel your pain, my brother. Feel your pain. Can hear it in your voice. Between you, Ray, and Mullah, and because of you three, I'm glad I was on this call to hear, you guys' feelings about Messi. I just knew him as a teammate and as an opponent on the playing in the junior corner league, right, and stuff. So, so I want to say to you guys, I appreciate how you guys came and talk about Messi, and rest in peace, Messi. And then to the rest of the crew, Chris, Jelly, and Phil. Boy, I'm a long fear no voice, brethren. We need to get this thing rolling again. You understand? And just
Yeah, man, no doubt. But
yeah.
everything is for a reason. But
Yes,
guess what?
man.
We're
Yeah,
up and
man.
running. We're up and running again.
Understand that,
And
right?
we can only learn from our obstacles.
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, rest in peace, Messi. You are a great, great person based on the things I'm hearing. You are a wonderful player based on what I've seen. I knew you would have achieved that based on the talent that I saw myself. So rest in peace, Messi. That's it from me.
Thank you, Tompa. And Phil, any closing remark before I close out the program, yeah?
Well, Jelly and rest of the crew, listen. It was a great thing we do today for another memory of not only Pembroke great, but Jamaica great. And I'm very thankful for being a part of this. It's sad to know that it took a situation like this to bring us together with regards to this particular individual. But as we say, it was written, you can't stop your works. But all I can say is that this man had a profound impact on me, especially where football was concerned. And then to hear from the man them who were closer to him and how much of a great individual and person he was as well, it makes this all more, pleasing and honorable for me to be a part of this memorial tribute to him. See it. So for that, I am grateful. And as well as say, just sleep in peace, my brother. Because we know you're there upstairs, I look down from where and I listen to it right now. And you will not be forgotten. That's for sure.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So, gentlemen, my closing remark is, I don't think you realize what the program I do for me. When I tell me what I do for Uno, but I've been out for about 4 or 6 weeks and just coming back in at the saddle today now. It feels nice to start having back the conversation. So I thank all of you for finding the time for come talk over 3 hours about the great Deon, Messi, Garfield, Wilmot. Because them program I like draws to me. You see me I said to you, when I have them conversation, I come to life. So I'm glad for know say, when I call and they say, when I want to come, I'm just happy for that. And I feel good. And then want to say that's an occasion, a celebration of a man, a great one life. Because as I say, the record speaks for itself and the receipts are there. Messi was probably the greatest footballer come out of Premier League. Without a doubt. We can't say that without any name there at all. Other people, yeah, man. Other people might have them opinion, but they're entitled to it. We have ours. So, you follow me, I said to you. So, and if Messi the band in a different country or a different time, things are different. But anyway, gentlemen, Ray Wilmot.
Yeah, man.
Michael Muller Garden. Because when Muller called me, I say Michael Garden. I say, who that? I don't know that name there. But Muller.
What you say that he alias that.
Keith Reed. Next man, Sally Miller. Sally Miller, I know he has here, sir. I will make ask him name, I say, Keith Reed. Chris Baptiste. Tony, Tompati, Kamika, and Philip Ennefowl. This is me, Glester. Well, you know me as Glester, Lance, Prince, Argelli. Thank you all for coming. And God bless the whole way. And God bless that great community of Pembroke. We bring us together for them conversation here. Where we can talk for over 3 hours about one of our great friend. Thank you and have a good day, my brother. And God bless the whole way and God bless Pembroke.
Yeah, man, it was a blessing to be in the company of y'all.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Safe travels, Chris.
Yeah, man. And Muller and Sally, me reach out to you for set a time for you to come on for come tell you one story.
Yeah, because Sally, you have to talk to about our leads, you know.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you remember one Calbeck Avenue woman, a good friend of mine, used to live diagonally across from me. Mikey Donaldson. Used to play under your toe.
Yeah. When Sally come, we have
who never play under me? Remember Galabar and Chris Thompson and
Galabar.
Nobody will start, Sally. Yeah, that's for your program alone.
Well, that's true. You know, so the man they mention a man where me not even when we hear him name, I say shit, I forgot about that Harper.
Yeah, Fitzy Harper. Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
when them say Harper, me remember Fabs like it yesterday.
Yeah, go ahead, Muller.
I'm on nearly every day now.
All right,
yeah?
Yeah, man. I'm bridging that, man. Live at
Jersey now. Muller, where am there? Florida?
Jersey.
After that, Jamaica got me up to the other day. When me there Jamaica in June, Harper there. I'm going to say to Harper, I'm going to look for Messi. Harper called me legend, you know. Him come from the house and shout. And I'm going to say, who that? I'm going to say, no say who that. Him say, then... You don't know who? Half out of the gate, yeah? All right.
Yeah,
all them conversation that's Sally, because trust me, you have enough story to come tell me. And you know what put about that conversation here today? We not have to edit, nothing at all, you know. Nothing have to edit in it, just straight up in it. It was just clean and nice, you know.
Yeah, Sally.
Yeah, man.
Because of the first we are discussed.
Yeah.
Sally and Muller, we have to catch up here, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. Definitely.
We talk, gentlemen. Have a good night. Have a good evening, my brother.
Yeah, have a good day, yeah?
Yeah, man.
All right, hold it down, yeah?
All right, Sally, cool.
All right.
So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Premier League Members podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another memorable conversation. Thank you. Thanks for listening to Permacal Memories Podcast. And remember to give us all the support you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. A special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, I would not be able to do what I love doing every week, having memorable conversation about Permacal. Thanks. The views expressed by guests on this podcast are their own, and their appearances on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. While we will not add to statements made by a guest, we reserve the right to exclude statements or remarks that might be considered inflammatory. Thank you.